the voice of St. Louis.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Pakistan trying to find a way back to peace in the Middle East, holding talks with Iran, even as the U.S. launches more attacks on Iranian targets. In Jordan, here's ABC's Martha Raddatz.
Video circulating online showing massive explosions. One missile striking a housing container unit, according to sources, although it is unclear whether that is where the fatalities occurred. President Trump vowing retaliation, warning Iran will pay many times over for every American soldier killed. The U.S. launching new attacks on Iranian military targets for the 10th straight day.
The president targeting Canada with new tariffs, 50% on a wide range of imports. The White House says it's in retaliation for Canadian treatment of American goods. The Paramount purchase of Warner Brothers has been put on a temporary hold by a federal judge as several states try to challenge the merger. This is ABC News. Michigan Athletic Director Ward Manuel has agreed to a buyout of the remainder of his contract following a probe into the entire Michigan Athletics Department.
The independent investigation into the University of Michigan's Athletics Department followed the incident involving head coach Sharon Moore, fired last year for an inappropriate relationship with a staffer. University of Michigan President Domenico Grasso says the review revealed several issues.
These include failures in accountability, structural deficiencies, weaknesses in our reporting and support systems, and concerns about retaliation.
Grasso says no current employees will face disciplinary action. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
There's now a $100,000 reward on the table for information leading to an arrest and conviction related to the death of 18-year-old Nolan Wells. Wells went partying with friends on one of Mississippi's barrier islands on the 4th of July. The friends all returned home, but Wells, however, did not. I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
It is 6:02 and it's a little breezy out there this morning, cloudy and 80 degrees. I'm Debbie Monterrey.
And I'm Tom Ackerman. We are seeing some light rain in North County, stretching from St. Charles all the way into Florissant and Hazelwood. We'll get an update on that in just about 8 minutes. A bill regulating data centers in St. Louis City stalled during a special session yesterday.
The bill will be sent back to the Planning Commission after an amendment established an exemption process for data centers that cannot meet clean energy requirements. Alderwoman Ann Schweitzer is sponsoring the regulations bill, but voted against the exemption process, saying it weakens her bill compared to the original, where the city would fine the data centers.
In order to make industry happy, they weakened a regulation that is already possible and has already been a big compromise to make sure that it could happen.
Schweitzer says the change is so significant it requires the regulations go back before the Planning Commission, delaying the regulations indefinitely. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
St. Louis Fire Chief Dennis Jenkerson explaining what happened over the weekend when the American flag was hung upside down accidentally at one of the firehouses. An off-duty firefighter passing by saw it and immediately called the firehouse.
3 of the firefighters came outside right away, one military veteran, and these are proud people. They're proud of what they do. Brought it down, raised it back up.
Jenkerson tells KMOX he's not making excuses.
Unacceptable. In our manpower meeting this morning, which we hold every day of the year with all the battalion chiefs that are on duty that day and the deputy chief, first topic of discussion was proper flag etiquette. Next movement of the day was over to the academy, where we put out, again, reiterating our proper flag rules, United States flag rules.
Jenkerson is pretty convinced all of his firefighters received his message loud and clear of never allowing a mishap with the flag.
Missouri Attorney General Catherine Hanaway tells KMOX she is investigating Cori Bush's nonprofit after the former congresswoman solicited donations to the nonprofit for tornado relief as it was donating to her PAC, which was paying her. But the primary election is weeks away, and the question is, will voters get answers into how the nonprofit handled their finances in time? Unlikely, says Hanaway.
The return date on the civil investigative demand is after the primary, so probably not.
Hanaway says she has made no assumptions about the investigation and will go where the evidence leads.
Today, you can vote no excuse absentee ballot in St. Charles County for the August 4th primary.
You have to show up with your photo ID. Present yourself to a bipartisan team of election judges. You get your ballot. You vote your paper ballot. Put that in the scanner. Grab your sticker on your way out. The process is just like Election Day. The Election Authority has differing hours for this no excuse period.
St. Charles Director of Elections, Kurt Barr, says no excuse absentee voting will end August 3rd, the day before the primary. 2 satellite locations are only this week and next week, Monday through Friday. You can also vote at the election authority. Satellite offices are at Element St. Charles and the Meadows Shopping Center in Lake St. Louis.
It's 6:05. The Ladue City Council heard an earful from residents last night before voting unanimously against a developer who wants to build at the former Rock Hill Quarries. The meeting was moved to from City Hall to Ladue Horton Watkins High School due to the number of people who wanted to speak. TriStar Properties wanted to build the first ever apartments in Ladue, along with townhomes and commercial space.
Residents complained about increased flooding risks, traffic congestion, and changing the character of the area. According to the Business Journal, the crowd applauded when the city council voted down the proposal, which is being sent back to the Zoning and Planning Commission for more review.
8% of the St. Clair County budget is spent on security at Metrolink and Metro bus routes. That's according to Ken Sharkey, the managing director of the St. Clair County Transit District. This fiscal year, the county has spent $4.1 million on security details along the routes, partnering with local police departments, including Shiloh, Belleville, Swansea, Fairview Heights, and the St. Clair County Sheriff's Office.
Now the Transit District is partnering with the Mascoutah Police Department for the new Metrolink extension at the Mid-America St. Louis Airport, which Sharkey says should open in September.
It's just more added security. It's more prevention. So we really don't have significant issues at any of those stations that we operate in, but we just want to make sure it stays that way.
2 nurses at SLU Hospital were fired after trying to organize workers at other SSM Health facilities. Their union says its union is busting, plain and simple. Nurses represented by National Nurses United are rallying Wednesday morning at the South Grand Hospital to demand Jessica Tulk and Erlene Shepard get their jobs back.
The union says nurses have visited other hospitals to discuss organizing before without any discipline, and SSM is now using a solicitation policy as a pretext. More than 700 nurses at the hospital are represented by the union.
Tens of thousands of people are expected to flood downtown St. Louis tonight for the Usher and Chris Brown concert at the Dome, as well as for other events in the downtown area. 2 road closures will affect traffic in the area. The closure of Cole Street from 7th to Broadway and Convention Plaza between Broadway and 7th. City police say they'll be patrolling the area and encourage anyone who sees something suspicious to call 911.
It is going on 6:08. We'll take a quick break here and come back with a look at the roadways and the weather. Things after today getting much cooler, so you'll enjoy the forecast coming up next.
In a county full of slick politicians, one man never got the memo. Jake Zimmerman. He may not be cool, but as county assessor, Zimmerman delivered. Here's Jake.
I stopped casinos taking money from our schools and cracked down on wealthy developers dodging taxes.
The St. Louis American called his office a model of respectful competence, and the Post-Dispatch just endorsed Zimmerman in his campaign for county executive for his pledge to take the drama out of county government. As county executive, he'll make life more affordable and stand up to MAGA's attacks on our rights.
I'm not flashy, but I get results, and I've got your back.
Then there's Brian Williams. Williams voted with MAGA Republicans to open the door to extreme abortion bans. And now MAGA is bankrolling Williams with $150,000 in donations. Brian Williams and MAGA can't be trusted. Jake Zimmerman is on our side. Paid for by Citizens for Jake Zimmerman. Jeannie Kirkton, Treasurer.
New Game Plus with Oxy makes your laundry smell incredible and fights stubborn smells, like the ones your dog Biscuit brought into your freshly made bed last night. But you washed that all away with Gain, and now you're drifting asleep to the scent and sound of waves. Ah, nope, that's the dog licking your ear.
Biscuit.
It just might be our greatest scent ever, now with odor-fighting power. New Game Plus with Oxy.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This hour of Total Information AM is sponsored by Gamma Tree Experts.
It's 6:10. Roger Brand is in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Tom, things are looking good now out west. If you're coming in on eastbound Highway 70, looks like they picked up all the road work, so things are pretty good shape now from Forestel all the way in through Wentzville Parkway. I'm not seeing any slowdowns at all, so everything looks like we're back on track there. The rest of the highways, like I said, around-the-clock construction zones, not enough volume to create any slowdowns out there so far, so you look good on both sides of the river as of right now. So we're talking about 64 in Fairview Heights, 5570 from 255 to 203. Everything's still hustling along for you and looks to be in pretty good shape. Don't forget that ramp's closed. Westbound 64 onto westbound 70. You can take 5570 to access westbound 70 on the Illinois side. That ramp is down to one lane, but it is still open. Or you can just stick with 64 across the Poplar and use the eastbound 44, westbound 70 ramp, leading you into the depressed section under the Arch Park to get onto westbound 70 from that point. Next update at 6:20 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
If your retirement plan is mostly what if and a little fingers crossed, you deserve better answers than that. Check out Wealth and Wisdom Saturdays at 7 a.m. here on KMOX. I'm Gary Goldberg. Call 800-966-1690.
We'll start off with cloud and a spotty shower or thunderstorm for a while this morning, then look for increasing amounts of sunshine later today. It'll become breezy, hot, and humid, the high 93. It will turn much more comfortable tonight under mainly clear skies, low 66. Sunshine mixed with clouds tomorrow and not as warm with low humidity, high 81. Thursday, partly sunny, the high near 80. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
It is cloudy, breezy, and 80 degrees right now in downtown St. Louis.
Later this year, all intoxicating hemp products will be pulled off the shelves in Missouri under a law the governor signed earlier this year, but not if a group of hemp businesses have their way. They've filed a federal lawsuit to stop the statewide ban, calling the definitions in the law of the difference between hemp and marijuana unconstitutionally vague.
Craig Katz tells the Business Journal it's difficult to understand, and the people legislating it don't understand. Katz is with St. Louis-based MNG 2005, which is the parent company for CBD Kratom stores. The Attorney General of Missouri has been going after Kratom as well.
The mistake Kansas made in eliminating the income tax was doing it all at once, says Attorney General Catherine Hanaway of Missouri. She says that on Chris and Amy's show that if Amendment 5 passes in August, it would be a gradual phase out. And she thinks it would mean young people moving back to the Show Me State.
But right now, the economic opportunity just isn't here in Missouri. We have stagnated in terms of growth, certainly in the St. Louis region, and we've got to do something to compete with states, particularly like Tennessee.
Tennessee's growth, mostly in the Nashville area, Hanaway attributes to them doing away with their income tax. As far as people paying more through sales taxes, she says people can just control what they spend.
Kansas City International Airport is looking at the impact of the World Cup on its traffic. Sue Danielson reports.
The airport had a record number of outbound travelers on July 12th, with 24,266 people. That breaks the previous record of 23,678 set May 18th of this year. The airport says the World Cup contributed to multiple high-volume days there. Sue Danielson, Missouri Net.
The heat got the better of dozens at Monday's Big Boy stop in Pacific. Merrimack Ambulance District declared a mass casualty incident and called in 9 additional agencies, 20 units total, after up to 25 people needed treatment. 3 were taken to hospitals. The rest were treated on scene and released.
In Webster Groves, it took less than a minute for Big Boy, the world's largest operating steam locomotive, to pass hundreds of people along its whistle-stop tour from coast to coast. Our Maria Kena was right there along the tracks.
How long have you been out here so far?
Feels like 5 hours.
But really?
Like probably an hour maybe.
Have you ever seen Big Boy before?
I have not.
Are you a train fan?
You could say so.
Well, it's the first time I've ever seen Big Boy, so it's a nice experience, I would say.
Are you a big train fan?
My grandpa was, so I would say I am. I have seen pictures, nothing in person though, so I think the in person is more fun than the actual pictures.
Definitely a lot of American history, definitely something to be proud to be a part of.
In Webster Groves, Maria Kena, KMOX News.
Well, the Cardinals' bullpen train is officially off the tracks. They struggled on Sunday and again yesterday. Cardinals were up 2-1 in the ninth inning. So far, so good as Riley O'Brien faces Mike Trout.
2-2 pitch is a called strike three. Got him with the sinker on the outside corner. That one came back, cut the corner, and Trout is 0 for 4, and the Angels are down to their last 2 outs.
Again, that is a 2-1 ball game. Ricky Horton with the call on KMOX, and that is a huge first out for Riley O'Brien, getting one of the best players of his generation, Mike Trout, on a strikeout. But things unraveled from there. A base hit, a hit by pitch, a pinch runner coming in, Jose Siri. And then the batter is Vaughn Grissom. And this is the call on KMOX in the ninth.
O'Brien hoping for a ground ball. The pitch is hit in the air to right field. That backs up Walker. He is at the track. He jumps, and he can't catch it. It's off the wall, and he has to come and challenge it. And the throw to the plate is not in time. And the Angels have tied it.
Now, the umpires actually reviewed that to see if it was a home run and game over. But the call on the field was upheld. It's a double. So it's a 2-2 game. O'Brien then intentionally walks a batter to load the bases for Joe Adele. And this is how it sounded on KMOX.
O'Brien, 3-0 count, the pitch, and he hit it. And a walk-off hit by pitch. And the Cardinals do not hang on in the bottom of the ninth inning. Kyle Leahy does not pick up the victory. And the Cardinals are now 1-3 on this road trip as Adele was hit by a pitch. And that is the walk-off RBI here in the bottom of the ninth inning, a 3-2 Angels victory.
Cardinals hanging on to a final playoff spot in the National League. There's a three-way tie for the last wild card spot between the Cardinals, the Marlins, and the Pirates. Cardinal baseball tonight. They'll take on the Angels. It'll be an 8:38 start on KMOX on right here, the Gas House Gang at noon with Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol. Mizzou coach Eli Drinkwitz now on an update on running back Ahmad Hardy.
I know that I've been asked a lot about Ahmad, and I did the very best that I could to save this update for the main stage. So what I want to tell y'all is this was a great opportunity for Ahmad to learn, and it was a great opportunity for our student athletes to learn. It was also a great reminder that there is no place for gun violence in this world, and that we need to do a better job of policing gun violence, not criticizing the police or the rights to bear arms, which is a Second Amendment right, but just saying that there is no place for gun violence, especially for our youth in society. Ahmad has been medically cleared from the bullet that struck him, and he is on the road to recovery. He did have the bullet did strike a bone in his body, and that has been fully healed and cleared. And today was his first day back towards a full recovery. We anticipate that he will make a recovery. What that recovery will look like after having a bullet, strike you is still to be determined.
Mizzou opens its season September 3rd at home against Arkansas Pine Bluff. I'm Tom Ackerman on the home of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
You work hard, follow the rules, and get absolutely slammed by taxes. Your paycheck, taxed. Your property, taxed. Everything you buy, taxed. Missouri's tax system isn't broken. It's rigged against you. The lawyers and lobbyists working for big corporations and the super rich buried over 200 loopholes for themselves in our tax code. While they pay nothing on the services they use, working families are taxed over and over. It's no wonder they're lying about Amendment 5. Our corrupt tax system is rigged in their favor. They're getting a free ride on your back. Don't believe their lies. The truth is, Amendment 5 closes loopholes exploited by the super rich and slashes taxes paid by Missouri's working families, phasing out income taxes and cutting property taxes. They finally pay what they owe while you keep what you earn. Vote yes on Amendment 5. Paid for by Missouri Promise Pack.
The Humane Society of Missouri, always working for animals, not just in the St. Louis region, but all around the state. Just some tips from the Humane Society and their Animal Medical Center of Mid-America because of this heat. We have at least one more day of it today. If you see an animal, of course, in a locked car or suffering in the sun or without water, you can call your local police department or the Humane Society's Animal Cruelty Hotline, 314-647-4400. Just be aware that out in this heat, dogs with their fur coats, they don't like it either. So please be nice to the dogs. And if you're looking for a new friend, a new furry child, they have an amazing array of dogs and cats and other pets. They also rescue farm animals, which are at their Longmeadow Rescue Ranch in Union, which is an incredible place to visit. Anyway, they're doing great work all over the state of Missouri, and they could use your help, whether you want to adopt, foster, or donate today. HSMO.org, the Humane Society of Missouri.
Now the news at 1 the fun. It's the Dave Glover Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Well, we have fun around here. There's no doubt about that. You should see us when we're not on the mic. It's 6:21. Roger Brand, what's going on? Overhead Door Company, St. Louis Traffic Center.
Let's fun drive on the highways. Maybe a little wet, but it's not bad, Tom, overall. This traffic reports of service of Steve Butts and the entire Crawford Butts family. Eastbound 70 wide open running coming in from Wentzville or from the Warrenton area. No delays running either direction through there. Southbound 61 onto eastbound 64 and 70. You're good to go. Northbound 270 as you get on from 55 looks great all the way up through 44. Both directions through the work zone. North of 64 to Ladue is good shape. On the Illinois side, still no delays on 55-70 between 255 and 203. That ramp's closed westbound 64 to westbound 70, but so far not causing any delays. Yesterday backed up maybe to 25th Street at its worst. So again, right now it looks great there, and it still looks great west of there, of course, across the Poplar and Musical Veterans Bridges. As America celebrates its 250th anniversary, Steve Butts and everyone at Crawford Butts Insurance wish everyone a safe and joyful summer. Proudly serving the community for generations. Happy 250th, America. Next update at 6:30 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
It is just one more day of this extreme heat, and then the rest of the week looks pretty nice until we head into Saturday. So today we're looking at maybe a shower or thunderstorm this morning. It looks like it could rain any minute right now in downtown St. Louis, but clouds giving way to sunshine and a hot and humid 93 today. Tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds, lower humidity, and a high tomorrow of 81, a high of 80 on Thursday. Believe it or not, that's where we are right now. It's 80 degrees downtown.
Copper theft is on the rise again. The price you can get on the cash market is up because copper is in demand for use in data center development. ABC's Jim Ryan tells Total Information AM companies like AT&T continue to work to stop it.
It's also offering hefty rewards in Missouri, specifically $20,000 rewards that AT&T is offering for information that leads to the arrest of people stealing copper wire.
So much copper wire was stolen from streetlights in St. Paul, Minnesota. The city can't afford to replace it and get the lights back on. Other cities are reporting theft of copper wire from roof air conditioning units.
There's a lot of talk about testosterone these days, and not just for members of the military. Both men and women are turning to testosterone replacement therapy to boost energy and even libido. KMOX Health Editor Fred Bottomer has more.
Most men see a natural decrease in testosterone production after their mid-30s. Women see a decline after their 40s. Lucas Edwards is a physician assistant with OSF Medical Group in Godfrey. He says there are important considerations if you're thinking about testosterone replacement therapy.
It does carry an increased risk for developing blood clots. It can increase acne in men and women.
Edwards says for men hoping to start a family, it's important to know it can reduce fertility. For women, testosterone replacement therapy can sometimes increase body or facial hair growth, and in high doses can lead to male pattern baldness in female patients. Fred Bottomer, KMOX News.
And is there a way that you could help your body to produce more beneficial hormones like testosterone naturally?
Michelle Wilson with Brands Nutrition says yes, and often your body will crave what you need.
We might not necessarily think I need magnesium, but we might be craving more
more greens, like leafy greens or nuts or seeds.
She says beneficial fats and micronutrients like magnesium and zinc can also help with hormone imbalances. Megan Lynch, KMOX News.
Megan will go in depth this morning on this topic at 8:50 on KMOX.
Included in last July's Big Beautiful Bill, a law that was designed to hold colleges accountable for not getting students their money's worth. KCBS's Megan Goldsby reports some are worried it could have a huge effect on arts and services schools.
The law asks colleges and certificate programs to verify that the majority of their graduates make at least as much as someone who only has a high school diploma, and they have 2 more years to prove it. But if they can't, they lose access to federal financial aid for their students. Michael Itzkowitz, founder and president of the HEA Group, which specializes in research on college access, says the numbers show that most schools in the state do meet this criteria, which would have a California graduate making at least $18 an hour.
There's way more that are making substantially more than the typical high school graduate than those that are failing to. So it's really a small sliver.
Which includes some art schools. And
it's actually these shorter term certificate programs that are more of a risk. Almost a third fail to meet that threshold.
So he says it could be time for states and counties to reevaluate how those programs are funded. Megan Goldsby, KCBS.
Retirement is looking a lot different for some people these days.
Forget the retirement community. How about calling a cruise ship home?
These days, there are people who are actually making the decision to do it. And it's, for some people, it's a financial benefit to do it.
Cindy Richards is the editor-in-chief of SheBuysTravel.com. She tells the Noon Business Hour, trading in your car and mortgage payments for full-time cruising be a smart and fun move.
You find the one you like, and you really should stick with it because there are loyalty programs, and you're going to get discounts and earn points for things that you can spend on the cruise. Maybe even get free cruises if you're a big gambler.
She does warn healthcare on cruises can be an issue, and if you enjoy spending time with family, it may not be for you. Andy Dane, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
We welcome in our viewers on Facebook, X, and YouTube. We've hit a bit of an algorithm on YouTube in the last few weeks, I've noticed, and the comments are coming in as people are exploring and finding us for the first time. So if you want to be part of the adventure of comments on YouTube and follow along, you can watch us every morning if you wish. It's 6:27. Time check sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Let's talk about your garage door. Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original. If you need a new garage door, this could be your lucky day. I'll explain that in just a moment. Let's talk about your garage door right now. When you open and close it, does it make noise? Do you hear it kind of whining and screeching? Well, it needs a tune-up, and it's really easy to do. Overhead Door Company of St. Louis will send a technician over, and they will get that all tuned up for you. In fact, they do one price for up to 3 garage doors and openers. Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Now, as for that new garage door, the $5,000 sweepstakes is back with Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. A winner will be chosen at random to receive $5,000 towards new garage doors, openers, or front entry doors of their choice. The deadline to enter is July 31st to win the $5,000 sweepstakes with Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Just enter now. It takes just seconds at overheaddoorsstlouis.com. Overheaddoorsstlouis.com. That's where the winners go. Overhead Door Company of St. Louis.com.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. and happy 50th.
For the last 33 years, you've discovered that at Banner Construction, we pride ourselves on quality craftsmanship. We believe the single most important decision homeowners must make when considering an exterior restoration project is, who do you hire? At Banner, we provide well-engineered, meaningful, long-term solutions to transform your home into the pride of the neighborhood. Let us help you fall in love with your home all over again. Call 314-569-1050 or visit bannerconstruction.com and have a banner day.
When you enter a place of business, you're owed a legal duty that the place of business is safe for you to shop in. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you suffered an injury at a place of business, our duty is to protect you after that harm. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.com.
It is 6:30. We've got cloudy skies, 80 degrees downtown. I'm Debbie Monterrey.
And I'm Tom Ackerman. Roads look pretty good, Roger Brand. Overhead door company, St. Louis Traffic Center.
Yeah, we've had a few light showers around the area, Tom, but not enough to really dampen the driving conditions. Obviously, things look great, like you said. Now, there's just a little bit of a slowdown at this point in time. Northbound 55 approaching 141 as you get up to the Merrimack River work zone. Eastbound Highway 30 just kind of slow up the hill from Mauer to 270. Out west, we still look okay. Southbound 61 down onto eastbound 64 or 70. Everything looks good coming out of Wentzville. 270 up past 44 from 55 and around Ladue from 64. Everything is in good shape there. And on the Illinois side, starting to see a little bit of a slowdown. Westbound 64 Ball Avenue up to that 70 split. Of course, that ramp from West 64 to West 70 is closed, so folks have to divert on to 64 westbound. Then you can get on to eastbound 44, westbound 70 on the Missouri side past the Arch Grounds. Next update at 6:40 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
It is going to be hot today, but then it cools down all the way through Saturday when we're back up into the upper 80s. But today, 93, hot and humid. Could see a shower or a thunderstorm around this morning. Otherwise, sunshine for the rest of the afternoon. Again, 93 today. Tomorrow, lower humidity, sun and clouds, and 81. It'll be 80 on Thursday, 76 as a high on Friday. We are hotter than that now because it's 80 degrees already.
It's 6:32. A man who was shot last Thursday in the 4100 block of North Grand has died from his injuries. City police have now identified the victim as 36-year-old Gregory Seddons of St. Louis. It's unclear if there are any suspects in custody at this time.
In the Metro East, St. Clair County's state's attorney James Gombrich will not file charges against Illinois trooper Novak in the fatal shooting of Rachel Terrence. Gombrich met with Terrence's family prior to making his decision public. Gombrich says Terrence was shot and killed back in January after troopers determined she was driving a stolen vehicle, pulled her over, and she allegedly backed up into the police car and then tried to run over Trooper Novak. Gombrich says after reviewing several hours of body, dash, and surveillance video, the evidence did not warrant criminal charges.
This group of firefighters that are involved, they're all hard workers, proud to call themselves St. Louis City firefighters. So it's kind of grown a life and legacy of its own.
St. Louis Fire Chief Dennis Jenkerson tells KMOX the incident over the weekend where the American flag was flying upside down at one of its firehouses was an accident.
Chief Jenkerson says there was no malice and it was not intentional.
I'll take the fault, I'll take the hit, but I'll do my very best to make sure it doesn't happen again. And I'm pretty sure they got my feelings on what happened over the weekend.
Someone made a social media post about the flag. An off-duty firefighter saw the flag while he was passing by and called the firehouse. They immediately corrected the mistake then.
I really appreciate the people watching our homes, taking a look. And, you know, it's you hate to use the term, it is what it is, but we had a kerfluffle. It's fixed. It was discussed. I'm sure we're not going to have another kerfluffle for some time.
Maria Aquina, KMOX News.
Yesterday, air conditioning failed at a shelter in St. Louis, leaving more than 60 dogs sweltering in the heat. A power outage at Care STL left dogs in dangerous temperatures as the shelter took to Facebook asking residents to consider taking a dog into some air conditioning. The fastest way to help is by fostering or adopting, the post read in part. Every dog who leaves today means one less dog in this building while we're without air conditioning. By yesterday evening, thankfully, Ackerman crews had restored power and air conditioning.
The news sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. Your Money Minute next.
All access with Ollie Marble on the Gas House Gang.
I show up every day looking forward to what's next for this group. This group fits my personality to a T. I love what we're doing. I love how we're going about it. I love the honest conversations. I love the grit. And there's been certain times where I've caught myself where
bases are loaded, our back's up against the wall, and I can't help but smile. I show up every day looking forward to what's next for this group.
Ollie Marble, Tuesdays at noon on KMOX.
Now there's a new way to take charge of your blood sugar. Introducing new Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula from the makers of the nation's best-selling garlic supplement. New Garlic helps maintain healthy blood sugar levels with clinically supported levels of garlic, plus a custom blend of vitamins and minerals, and it's odor-free. Take charge of your blood sugar with new Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this ad for your morning commute to wake you up, which could help your driving. Science says that stimulating the brain increases alertness. So here's a pop quiz. How many months have 28 days? What gets wetter as it dries? What has keys but can't open locks? If you don't want to hear the answers, turn off this Liberty Mutual ad now. 12 months, a towel, piano. Enjoy being fully alert.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
It is time for your money report here on Total Information AM at 6:36, and this report is sponsored by Eamon, Gantner, and Capriano, elder law attorneys.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. The Trump administration plans to slap a 50% tariff on some Canadian goods, accusing Canada of unfair trade practices involving American alcohol, cars, and dairy. The items subject to the new tariff include milk, hockey equipment, beer, and plywood, but not major resources such as energy. And goods covered by separate duties on industries, including autos, will also be spared. The tariffs are set to take effect in 30 days. Turning to trading, stocks are edging higher despite continuing clashes between the U.S. and Iran. Chip stocks are leading the gains, which have been the biggest beneficiaries of the artificial intelligence build-out. S&P futures are rising 42 points, NASDAQ futures jumping 1.4%. And profit at pharma giant Novartis topped Wall Street's expectations last quarter. Strong sales of newer cancer drugs offset generic competition for its blockbuster heart medication Entresto. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
If you are in the market for a new fence or maybe a replacement deck, or you've been thinking about some upgrades, you definitely need to call Chesterfield Fence and Deck, because Chesterfield Fence and Deck is the sign you have the very best. And, you know, just for an example, we've all seen the projects in our neighborhoods where the fences go up and then after one season, they're warping and splintering and nails are popping out. I have a friend who hired some guy who offered a rock bottom price, and as they were installing it, it was all crooked and she had to fight just to get it installed correctly. Well, those are things you don't worry about with Chesterfield Fence and Deck, because they have their own installation crews with years of experience. They've been around for 58 years. So they have a great reputation, and what they build will be a true value because it's going to look great and last for years to come with a company that stands behind everything they do. So give them a call or stop by there in the Chesterfield Valley with a beautiful showroom and warehouse, or they'll come to you. Or you could just go online right now. Mention me, Debbie Monterrey. They'll offer you 48 months interest-free financing. ChesterfieldFence.com.
You take care of your dog out of love and responsibility. But what if every scoop that you're feeding them is slowly making them sicker? Not because you're a bad pet owner, but because the pet food industry never told you the truth. Greetings, naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, Amazon #1 best-selling author and founder of Rough Greens here. Dog food is dead food, stripped of every live nutrient that your dog needs. That's where Rough Greens comes in. Just sprinkle it on top of whatever you're already feeding them. It's packed with live probiotics, enzymes, omega oils, and over 20 live vitamins and minerals, all natural and made in the USA. Thousands of dog owners are watching their pets transform. More energy, shinier coat, better mobility, and your dog could be next. Take the Rough Greens 90-day challenge. Give us 90 days and we'll give you a healthier dog, guaranteed. Get a free Jumpstart trial bag for your dog today. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. Use discount code USA. That's RUFFgreens.com, discount code USA. Rough Greens, so good, your dog will ask for it by name.
Giddy up! It's the Cardinal Cowboy. Don't let garage door problems bench your summer plans. From repairs, tune-ups, and replacements, Renner Garage Door hits a grand slam every time. Score a free repair or replacement quote today. Plus, $100 off a new garage door. Featuring trusted brands like Delden, Amar, and LiftMaster. Renner delivers the quality, reliability, and performance your home can count on. RennerDoorSTL.com. Forward and back.
RENNER, RENNER.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Today, the Cards, the Angels.
Ameren Total Access 743. First pitch 8:38.
Cardinals Radio. 104.1 FM KMOX.
640 check of traffic. Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, we got an overturned vehicle crash right now, Tom. The county police just pulling up with it. It's eastbound Tesson Ferry, just east of 270. They're blocking the two right lanes now, and the ramp as you're coming off North 270, getting off at Tesson Ferry. If you want to go eastbound, it looks like their ramp is at least partially blocked right now as well. I'll try to keep tabs on it and see if they move anything around. But that's the status right now. It's not really causing a problem because most folks that are on Tesson Ferry are getting onto northbound 270 and not continuing past that point, so it really isn't impacting traffic as of yet. Northbound 55, you got some slow stuff south of 141 up to the Merrimack River. Eastbound Highway 30, Mauer up to 270. You've got some heavier traffic running there. Still look good out west, southbound 61 onto eastbound 64 and eastbound 70. Delays on the Illinois side. Westbound 64 backs up approaching 25th Street up to the 70 split because of that 64 ramp closure. Then it's just slow across the Poplar, and there's a roadwork backup briefly eastbound 5570 from 203. It opens up before you get midway into 111. Next update at 650 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Brought to you by Duke's Real Mayo.
It's a song about good mayo, Duke's Mayo. It'll make any dish sing. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
It is 6:41, and we've got Joe Lundberg, our AccuWeather meteorologist. Joe, it's already 80 degrees, and it was 80 degrees at like 5:30 this morning.
Yeah, it just never cooled off. Too many clouds around last night, Debbie. That's one of the reasons for it. We do have a cold front that will come through here later today, and that will chase away the worst of the heat and humidity. In fact, it's actually going to be refreshing around here for the midweek period, with temperatures well below historical averages for the middle of summer. Now, as we make this transition, yes, there can be a shower and thunderstorm in the area for a while this morning. I think this afternoon is dry as that breeze picks up. Humidity starts to go down. By the time we get to sunset, it'll start to feel a little bit nicer, although we do have the heat advisory till 7 this evening, or high 93. Then tonight, clears out, much more comfortable, low 66. Sun mixes with clouds tomorrow, not as warm, less humid, the high 81. Partial sunshine Thursday, about 80. And clouds up Friday could lead to a couple of afternoon showers, and we may not even get to 80. And then the sun's back on Saturday. Here comes the warmth, the high 80, probably 90 plus on Sunday. 83, as you mentioned, St. Peter's, 84 in Florissant, 84, mostly cloudy downtown at the Arch. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Thank you, Joe. It's 6:43. Sports in 2 minutes says U.S. mortgage rates hit their highest levels in nearly a year at 6.55%. And American home sales dropped 5% in June. Zillow's chief economist, Misha Fisher, breaks down what analysts are estimating our end-of-the-year numbers could look like.
Mortgage rates are still a little bit lower than last year. So right now, we're still expecting to end the year with positive sales growth in the range of 1% to 2% or so, just not quite as much as the 4% that we were expecting at the start of the year.
With the U.S. and Iran continuing to spar over the fate of the Strait of Hormuz, U.S. gas prices are once again on the rise. The national average for a gallon of gas tipping over $4 a gallon yesterday after weeks of costs staying under $4, leaving some drivers frustrated at the push and pull over the price at the pump.
Patrick DeHaan, the head of petroleum analysis Gas Buddy, says not only are the gas prices impacted by things like the war in Iran, but the incoming hurricane season will also complicate prices for the foreseeable future.
It's a reminder of Mother Nature's impact on gas prices that we could see in August and September as hurricane season starts to find its stride. So while it is geopolitical factors primarily pushing prices up, there are other factors that could become active in the weeks ahead.
With its top sustained winds exceeding 39 miles per hour, Top Tropical Depression 2 has formally earned a name. We hear now from ABC's Jim Ryan. Tropical Storm Bertha creeping along the Florida Panhandle.
Lifeguards on Pensacola Beach are now warning visitors about Bertha's likely risks. Escambia County's Alex Johnson.
Heavy, strong surf and strong rip currents are definitely going to pose hazards to anyone going near the water, and we expect to be flying double red flags.
Effectively keeping everyone on the beach and out of the water.
And in the Midwest, a new round of severe weather is battering the area. Here's ABC's Sophie Flay.
Multiple tornadoes touching down near Stratford, Wisconsin. Heavy rain falling outside Des Moines, Iowa. Now, that system is making its way to the Northeast, just days after parts of New York and New Jersey were hit with torrential rain and flooding. Hundreds of flights already canceled today, and airlines have issued travel waivers for passengers traveling to or from the Northeast.
The Cardinals are out west, and Matt Pauley, this has been a bad start to the second portion of the season.
The Cardinals suffered their second consecutive gut punch loss, losing to the Angels 3-2 after taking a 2-1 lead to the bottom of the ninth. All-star closer Riley O'Brien does not command his pitches, recording just one out, allowing 2 runs on 2 hits with 1 walk and 2 hit batters, the second coming with the bases loaded, forcing in the game-winning run. Manager Oliver Marmol chalks it up to a bad night for O'Brien.
Yeah, lost command of it. He's been really good, like you said. Had an off night.
Coming into the game, O'Brien had not given up a run in his last 8 appearances dating back to June 21st and had not blown a save since May 19th. Matt Pauley, KMOX Sports.
The Brewers won 8-3 over the Mets. They now have the best record in baseball at 63-37. The Boston Red Sox have won 14 straight games, and with one more victory, they'd match the franchise record set by the 46 club led by Ted Williams. Caleb Durbin hit a tie-breaking homer over the Green Monster with 2 outs in the 8th, and the Red Sox extended the second longest winning streak in club history to 14 games, and they beat the Orioles 6-5 as Durbin connected on a 1-0 cutter from Tyler Wells. That set off the celebration in front of Boston's dugout. Boston was 37-48 when the streak began, and they're now in position for a wild card playoff berth. Cardinals are, surprisingly as well, as poorly as they've played. They do currently sit in a tie for the final wild card spot in the National League with the Marlins and the Pirates. Miami's lost 7 in a row to fall back into this position. The Missouri Tigers football season is getting closer, and head coach Eli Drinkwitz told the media at SEC Media Days yesterday that running back Ahmad Hardy has been medically cleared from the bullet that struck him in Mississippi over the summer, and that yesterday was his first day back towards a full recovery.
We do not know exactly what the return to play progression is because there's not a lot of literature and data on this, but we are utilizing our medical team along with our athletic performance team and nutrition to approach this at a very good pace. We do anticipate that this return to play protocol could take anywhere between 5 to 8 weeks. And at the end of the 8 weeks, we still don't know what his recovery will be from is he the same Ahmad Hardy that was last year? My anticipation and what I've seen, the way he's attacked his rehab, he's going to be a better Ahmad Hardy than when he was before.
Ahmad Hardy was one of the best running backs in the country last year. Missouri opens the season September 3rd at home against Arkansas Pine Bluff. Who's Hot, Who's Not, sponsored by St. Louis Composting. Growing gardens and making memories.
Bill, you're an old politician.
Yup, sure am.
So you know the old timers warned that someone trying to sell you a pig in a poke was a con man.
Well, sure.
Well, no offense, Tom, but your Politicians Amendment 5 is a pig in a poke, allowing politicians to raise our taxes without a vote of the people. And the Politicians Amendment 4 takes away our power to do anything about it. Well, let's look at what's really inside Ford 5.
Oh, don't do that.
5 hits hardest seniors and those struggling financially with new taxes on services like doctor visits, in-home care, and rent. Sales taxes could more than triple. For up to 80% of Missourians, it's a tax hike. And Amendment 4 ends majority rule, effectively ending our power to stop corrupt and out-of-control politicians.
Slick plan, huh?
No, Tom, 4 and 5 are schemes that hurt citizens and transfer our power and our money to politicians and lobbyists. That's why I'm voting no on the politicians' Amendments 4 and 5. Paid for by Missourians for Fair Government.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friend Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation. Stewie, let's talk about refinancings, and let's just bottom line this. Everyone needs money at some point in their life.
You know what, Dave? There's so many different ways you can make money. Number one, go to a lower rate. If you're financed over the last 3 years, chances are you're paying a higher rate than what you can today. Refinance with the Bagel loan, no closing costs at all. That's number one. Number two, a lot of people are concerned not about the cash flow, but overall interest that you're paying. Go from a 30-year to a 20-year. The rates are lower on a 20-year versus a 30-year. Save hundreds of thousands of dollars. And third is the really easy way. You need cash. I need cash. Take cash out. Refinance now. Take the money you need. Keep the payment the same. It's easy. It's simple. All with no closing costs with that Bagel loan.
If you're looking to save money, get a little cash to your pocket and do it with the right person, give Stewie a call or a text on his personal cell phone, 314-324-4440, or Google the Bagel Loan, NMLS 226715.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM, KMOX. Total Information AM. The news continues on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
6:50 and time for a check of the roadways and the weather. We have a cool down coming your way. So that's the good news. Hopefully traffic is good news as well. Roger has that from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Yeah, it's not bad so far. If you're headed out the door, Debbie, they are still working, obviously, with this overturned vehicle crash. It's northbound on Tesson Ferry, just north of 270, just across 270. Only the left through lane is open on Tesson Ferry, but most folks are getting on to North 270. That's not impacted. But if you're exiting North 270 at the Tesson Ferry exit, that lane to take you eastbound on Tesson Ferry is blocked, so you have to get around the emergency equipment. The ramp's backed up, but it's not backed up onto the highway so far. In fact, Tesson Ferry looks pretty good there. Just like I said, the ramp getting off is the only thing backed up. Eastbound 30, Mauer up the hill to 270. That's slow. Northbound 55, approaching 141 from about the Church Street overpass, a little heavy. Northbound 270, north of Doherty Ferry up to Manchester, slowing on the Illinois side. The only real delays are westbound 64 approaching 25th Street to the 70 split, and eastbound 5570 a little slow briefly just east of 203. Next update at 6:58 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Why pay full insurance when you can customize and save? Switch to Liberty Mutual and they'll customize your auto and home insurance so you only pay for what you need. Liberty, 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 liberty.
Weather, it's going to be hot and humid today, says AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg. Hot and humid with a chance of a spotty shower or thunderstorm this morning. High 93. Tonight, clear, more comfortable, low 66. After that front comes through, nice day tomorrow. Mix of sun and clouds, not as warm, lower humidity, and a high of 81 degrees. It's a hot one out there right now. It's 81 downtown at the Arch.
6:52, jury selection underway for the man accused of seriously injuring a Ferguson police officer, 30-year-old Elijah Gant, facing 12 charges, including second-degree assault. He is charged with knocking over former officer Travis T.J. Brown to the ground during a protest in August of 2024. Authorities say that gave Brown a traumatic brain injury. Jury selection started yesterday, and it's underway again this morning.
Mary J. Armstrong, the longest-serving president of the American Federation of Teachers, St. Louis Local 420, AFL-CIO, passed away following a long illness on Sunday. Current President Ray Cummings says in a release, Armstrong was a product of the St. Louis Public Schools, a Vashon graduate, a distinguished alum of Harris Stowe, and served as a major in the United States Air Force Reserves. Funeral arrangements have not been announced.
A nonprofit group preparing a class of new Missouri teachers heading to low-income schools this fall. Julie Gronquist of Teach for America tells MissouriNet the teachers in the program have a strong desire to serve others.
And so they are really craving doing meaningful work in community, and teaching gives them an opportunity to do that.
Since the group began more than 20 years ago, it's placed thousands of teachers in low-income schools in Kansas City and St. Louis.
There are some easy fixes to help more women when it comes to breast cancer screenings. That's what Gateway to Hope, a breast health nonprofit, is saying after a first-of-its-kind study on breast cancer disparities. The study showed plenty of mammography capacity, but only about 56% is used.
Only half of eligible city and county women in 2024 got a mammogram. Gateway to Hope is suggesting expanded access through extended hours, improved scheduling, transportation, and aligning existing resources with patient needs.
So you think Meet Me in St. Louis? If you plan to see it on stage at the Muni in August, there will be a new song. That's Enough of That is an original song by Mark Sonnenblick exclusively for this St. Louis production. Sonnenblick is an Academy Award, Grammy, and Golden Globe winner. The song will be performed by Tony Award winner and Muni favorite Beth Lavelle.
Muni artistic director and executive producer Mike Isaacson says since 1960, when the Muni premiered the first stage edition of this production, more than 25 songs that weren't in the film version have appeared in various stage adaptations. He points out the 1944 movie only had 4 original songs. Meet Me in St. Louis is on stage at the Muni August 6th through the 13th.
I heard it's somebody's birthday.
Birthday excitement. It's your birthday.
Big happy birthday to Cardinals Hall of Famer Al Raboski. The Mad Hungarian is 77 today. He will join me on Thursday after the Cardinals game for a very special tribute to Hall of Famer to be Joe Buck, who is going to go into Cooperstown this weekend. Thank you, Al, for contributing to that. Al Raboski is 77 today.
The birthday shout out is sponsored by Renner Garage Door, RENNER, forward and back. Happy birthday to Lois Adams, Bob's best friend. Also to Stacy Switzer. Bonnie Hoover at Cedarhurst of Des Peres is 100 today. Alex Adams, happy birthday from Grandma and Grandpa Adams. And happy birthday wishes going out to Matt Dorman and Derek Gould.
This is the best birthday ever.
Matt Dorman, I haven't heard that name in a while. Good man. Derek Gould, we absolutely love. For the last 33 years, Banner Construction's prided itself on quality craftsmanship with its creative work on exterior home restoration. They believe the single most important decision homeowners must make when considering a restoration project is, who do you hire? Well, we all want the lowest price. Who wouldn't? But this is your home. This is your biggest life investment. Please be careful of people who cut corners to win your business. They don't do a great job. They just don't. Banner is a preferred James Hardy and Pella window specialist, and it's important to choose an experienced expert like Banner to make sure the job is done beautifully. Banner's design team will show you affordable design options, by the way, that you never thought you had. Banner knows how much you love your home. Their goal is to make you fall in love with it again. Banner Construction. Schedule a free in-home consultation by calling 314-569-1050. 314-569-1050 or bannerconstruction.com and have a banner day.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this rush hour ad to keep you calm, which could help your driving. And science says therapy is great for a healthy mindset. So enjoy this 14-second session on us. I think you've done everything right and absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, anything that hasn't gone your way could probably be blamed on your father not being emotionally available because his father wasn't emotionally available, and so on. And now that you're calm and healing, you're probably driving better too.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Paramount Men's Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Paramount Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Paramount Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 314-720-8444. 314-720-8444. Take control of your sex life. Call now. 314-720-8444.
Roger Brand is in the overhead door company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Tom, the emergency crews are pulling away, but they still have the two right lanes blocked for the overturned vehicle crash. Eastbound Tesson Ferry on the east side of 270. The north 270 exit to Tesson Ferry is backed up, but it looks like you can go east from there now. They had the ramp up to that point blocked. We have some heavy traffic on the Illinois side, westbound 64, Ball Avenue to 3rd Street, and then on the Poplar and eastbound 5570 east of 203 to 111 is heavy. Next update is 710 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
It is today, Tuesday, the 21st of July. I'm Debbie Monterrey.
The St. Louis Fire Chief is speaking out following an incident with the American flag over the weekend. I'm Maria Aquino with the story.
Data centers in St. Louis City have hit a snag. I've got that story coming up.
No excuse absentee voting starts today in St. Charles County. Find out more about what you need to bring to the polls.
This is AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg. A stray shower or thunderstorm this morning, and partly to mostly sunny, breezy, hot and humid this afternoon, high 93.
Always have to be ready when Eli Drinkwitz takes the stage at SEC Media Days. He did that yesterday. You can bet there was quote after quote after quote. Bad loss for the Cardinals. That's in 15 minutes.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The White House raising the stakes in the tariff fight with Canada, set to put in place new 50% tariffs on all sorts of Canadian imports. ABC's Karen Hua.
The list of affected Canadian products is wide-ranging. Dairy products, alcohol, and honey, along with a range of other grocery items. Also construction materials, clothing, furniture, and electronics. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney says the tariffs violate the free trade agreement between the U.S., Mexico, and Canada.
Trump administration using a law that experts think has never been used before for tariffs. Another night of American attacks on Iran, the 10th in a row. Iran's Revolutionary Guard vowing no more oil will pass through the Strait of Hormuz. Gas prices here already back to $4 a gallon on average. Tropical storm Bertha threatening the Gulf Coast could make landfall in Louisiana tomorrow. Selling at auction for $3.75 million, the prop of Luke Skywalker's severed hand of the lightsaber it was holding. This is ABC News. Taylor Farms voluntarily expanding the recall of iceberg lettuce products amid the parasitic bacteria outbreak that has sickened hundreds of Americans. The UK has its 7th prime minister in the past decade. Andy Burnham, former mayor of Manchester, is now head of the Labour Party. ABC's Guy Davies is at the foreign desk in London.
It's turned out to be a bit of a coronation for Andy Burnham. He's a deeply popular figure in Manchester, where he's been mayor, and it was essentially a given that he was going to be the new prime minister yesterday, because all of these lawmakers in the Labour Party have said that they want Andy Burnham to be the next prime minister. Normally there's a kind of internal leadership contest. That didn't happen this time around. That's how popular he is.
The UK is experiencing a cost of living crisis amid the strong distrust in the government. A lot of us spending a lot of money at the movies. Theater chain AMC, the biggest in the country, says its last quarter was the best in the company's 106-year history. Revenues hitting $1.6 billion. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
It is 7:02. We've got clouds in downtown St. Louis. It is 80 degrees. I'm Debbie Monterrey.
And I'm Tom Ackerman. The forecast is going to get a lot better. We'll have it for you in just about 10 minutes. A bill regulating data centers in St. Louis City must go back to the Planning Commission after significant amendments were approved by the Board of Aldermen. The amendment creates a process to exempt data centers from meeting clean energy standards if they apply for and receive a waiver.
Alderwoman Ann Schweitzer sponsors the bill but opposed the amendment and says it could be a lengthy process to get the bill back from the Planning Commission.
Some of the amendments that were made today really do require further review from staff and from the city councilor's office as to whether or not they're legal, whether or not it's something that the city could enforce through zoning regulations.
The waiver would come from and be approved by the Board of Public Service. Asked if she believes the Board of Public Service would be in the tank for data centers who apply, Schweitzer countered, "How did the Armory proposal go?"
Attorney General Catherine Hanaway opens up on her investigation into a former Missouri Congresswoman.
Attorney General Hanaway confirmed she is investigating former Congresswoman Cori Bush for whether anything illegal was done when Bush solicited donations to her nonprofit for tornado relief, while the same nonprofit was donating to her political action committee that also made payments to Bush and her husband directly. Hanaway says they are looking into how the money came into the nonprofit and how it came out related to both tornado relief and political donations.
If there were contributions from both, what did the expenditures look like relative to both? I mean, there's a lot of facts to be learned yet.
Hanaway says she doesn't want to make any assumptions and will go where the investigation takes her. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
The Ladue City Council heard an earful from residents last night before voting unanimously against a developer who wants to build at the former Rock Hill quarries. The meeting was moved from City Hall to Ladue Horton Watkins High School due to the number of people who wanted to speak. TriStar Properties wants to build the first ever apartments in Ladue, along with townhomes and commercial space.
Residents complained about increased flooding risks, traffic congestion, and changing the character of the area, according to the Business Journal. The crowd applauded when the city council voted down the proposal, which is being sent back to the Zoning and Planning Commission for more review.
It's easy to clip the grommet on the wrong part of the flag, raise it up. It's like, up, got it backwards, bring it back down.
That's St. Louis Fire Chief Dennis Jenkerson speaking with KMOX about the American flag accidentally flying upside down at one of the city's firehouses.
This firefighter missed the fact, whether the wind was blowing or it was moving around, that he hadn't put the flag up correctly. A firefighter driving by, off-duty fireman, saw it, called him immediately and say, hey guys, you got the flag upside down, turn it around.
Jenkerson says there was absolutely no malice or intentional disregard for the flag, but says after conducting an investigation, the first thing in their morning meeting was going over proper flag etiquette.
In the Metro East, St. Clair County State's Attorney James Gomerick will not file charges against Illinois Trooper Novak in the fatal shooting of Rachel Terrence. Gomerick met with Ms. Terrence's family prior to making his decision public. Gomerick says Terrence was shot and killed in January after troopers determined she was driving a stolen vehicle, pulled her over, and she allegedly backed up into the police car and then tried to run over Trooper Novak. Gomerick says after reviewing several hours of body, dash, and surveillance video, the evidence did not warrant criminal charges.
St. Clair County will get a Metrolink extension later this year that will connect the Mid-America St. Louis Airport to Lambert. Ken Sharkey with the St. Clair County Transit District says the extension should be open in September or October. And then once open, the Mascoutah Police Department will provide security at the stop, marking the 12th Metrolink station that the St. Clair County pays security for.
We actually have these agreements in other municipalities in St. Clair County. So we also partner with the Fairview Heights Police Department, Swansea Police Department, Belleville Police Department, and Shiloh. So all four of those current municipalities, we've had additional police protection, law enforcement at the Metrolink stations within their communities.
Sharkey says an additional 15 St. Clair County Sheriff's deputies patrol the Metrolink full-time and provide protection on the trains themselves.
A part of history pulled out from Union Station yesterday morning en route to Pacific and then Herman. Our Maria Kina made a stop in Webster Groves to talk with some of the dozens of people waiting to catch a glimpse of big boy number 4014.
Trains have been a big part of my life. My dad has a huge train layout, and I don't know how many versions of this particular train he has.
I have a nephew that is. We have to see it because he sees it.
This is such a part of history, too, because it goes back to 1941.
Yeah.
We almost do, too.
Pretty close. Pretty close.
Well, you look good.
Thank you.
It was brief, but it was worth the stay. In Webster Groves, Maria Kina, KMOX News.
It is going on 7:08. We'll take a quick break here and be back with traffic and weather. You will enjoy the forecast, maybe not today, but after today. We'll get to that after this on Total Information AM.
You work hard, follow the rules, and get absolutely slammed by taxes. Your paycheck taxed, your property taxed, everything you buy taxed. Missouri's tax system isn't broken, it's rigged against you. The lawyers and lobbyists working for big corporations and the super rich buried over 200 loopholes for themselves in our tax code. While they pay nothing on the services they use, working families are taxed over and over. It's no wonder they're lying about Amendment 5. Our corrupt tax system is rigged in their favor. They're getting a free ride on your back. Don't believe their lies. The truth is, Amendment 5 closes loopholes exploited by the super rich and slashes taxes paid by Missouri's working families, phasing out income taxes and cutting property taxes. They finally pay what they owe while you keep what you earn. Vote yes on Amendment 5. Paid for by Missouri Promise PAC.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. But at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited everything for just $35 a line. That's $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction and get unlimited everything for just $35 a month. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit Consumer Cellular online or in-store today. Price includes $5 credit for autopay and e-billing. Taxes and fees apply. Data speeds reduced after 35 gigabytes. Rankings done by 2025 ACSI survey.
This hour of Total Information AM is sponsored by Gamma Tree Experts.
All right, it's 7:10. Time for us to get you a check of traffic and weather. Roger Brand starts us off. He's in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, it's not bad right now, Debbie, but they are still working with the overturned vehicle crash that is eastbound on Tesson Ferry, just on the east side of 270, and that exit lane, North 270 to go east on Tesson Ferry is blocked as well, so you have to use the lanes to turn onto westbound Tesson Ferry and then sort of double back around it there. So that ramp is backed up on North 270 at the exit to Tesson Ferry, but the through lanes just a little crowded through there. It doesn't look that bad, and once you get past that point, it's a great run all the way up past 64 in Ladue. Northbound Telegraph from Christopher up to Baumgartner, seeing some heavier traffic there. Still look good out west. Southbound 61 on to eastbound 64 and 70. Coming out of Wentzville across the Missouri River bridges look great out of St. Charles County. And the only delays right now downtown is just a little slowdown westbound 64 west of Baugh to the 70 split. Of course, that ramp leading onto westbound 70 is closed, and that's the reason why it is heavy there. But otherwise, it looks good headed across the bridges into downtown. Next update at 7:20 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
KMOX AccuWeather, a spotty shower or thunderstorm this morning. Otherwise, clouds will give way to increasing sunshine today. It'll become breezy, hot, and humid with a high of 93. And tonight, mainly clear and becoming more comfortable, low 66. For tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds and not as warm with lower humidity, high 81. Thursday, partly sunny to high 80. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM.
It's very
KMOX.
important.
It is going to be a pretty hot day, and already it's 81 degrees downtown.
It's 7:12. This is Total Information AM. St. Charles County Director of Elections Kurt Barr says voters can start voting on no excuse absentee ballots today through the next 2 weeks, and you have some options.
Two silent locations are on the eastern side of the county at Element St. Charles, next to the Sam's Club, and at the Meadows Shopping Center in Lake St. Louis is the western location.
Barr says election authorities want to make this as easy as possible for voters.
The Tuesday and Thursdays, the election authority office is going to stay open until 7 p.m. This is something that we started this year, staying open extra hours to allow people to come in and vote after work. First day of this no excuse in-person voting will be open from 8:30 to 7.
You do need a picture ID, either a driver's license, state identification, passport, or military ID.
Eliminating the income tax is the reason Tennessee is growing so much, and it would bring young people back to Missouri. So says Attorney General Catherine Hanaway, who is backing Amendment 5, which will be on the August 4th ballot. As far as higher and broader sales taxes costing people more in the long run,
you can control how much you spend. So to me, it's what do we want to encourage? Do we want to encourage hard work and success, or do we want to encourage spending?
Amendment 5 will be, as I mentioned, on the August 4th ballot. It would gradually eliminate the income tax while giving the legislature the ability to hike sales taxes and apply it to almost any sale or service.
Later this year, all intoxicating hemp products will be pulled off the shelves in Missouri under a law the governor signed earlier this year. but not if a group of hemp businesses have their way. They've filed a federal lawsuit to stop the statewide ban, calling the definitions in the law of the difference between hemp and marijuana unconstitutionally vague.
Craig Katz tells the Business Journal it's difficult to understand and the people legislating it don't understand it. Katz is with St. Louis-based MNG 2005, the parent company for CBD Kratom stores. The Attorney General has also been going after Kratom. So you think you know Meet Me in St. Louis? If you plan to see it on stage at the Muni in August, there will be a new song. That's Enough of That is an original song written by Mark Sonnenblick exclusively for this St. Louis production. Sonnenblick is an Academy Award, Grammy, and Golden Globe winner. The song will be performed by Tony Award winner and Muni favorite Beth Lavelle.
Muni artistic director and executive producer Mike Isaacson says since 1960, when the Muni premiered the first stage edition of production, more than 25 songs that weren't in the film version have appeared in various stage adaptations. He points out the 1944 movie only had 4 original songs. Meet Me in St. Louis is on stage at the Muni August 6th through the 13th. It's 7:15. Let's start things off with the Cardinals. It was not pretty yesterday by any stretch, as the Cardinals dropped another one in excruciating fashion. The latest from our broadcast crew in Anaheim.
Horton with your Redbird recap, and unfortunately the Cardinals dropped another tough game on the West Coast yesterday as the Angels came up with a 2-run bottom of the 9th inning, and they sent home the Cardinals a 3-2 loser, as the Cardinals did not get good work from Riley O'Brien in the 9th inning. He was a bit erratic, hit a couple of batters, and gave up an important double over the head of Jordan Walker in right field. So Kyle Leahy, who started the game, did not pick up the victory. He was good, going 6 innings, giving up just 1 run. Nathan Church had a couple of hits in his hometown. He drove in a run in the 2nd inning, but it wasn't enough. The Cardinals couldn't add on, and the Cardinals dropped to 51-48 with the loss yesterday. Today, it'll be Matthew Liberatore, 5-6. He'll be up against a right-hander, a young right-hander who throws really well. Walbert Ureña is 5-7, and we do hope you will join us for Cardinals baseball. This is Ricky Horton with your Redbird recap.
With more, KMOX's Matt Pauley.
Cardinals starting pitcher Kyle Leahy does just about everything he can do, throwing 6 strong innings in what turns into a 3-2 loss for the Cardinals against the Angels. Leahy gives up a solo home run to Joe Adell, but that's his only blemish, allowing just 1 run on 3 hits with 4 strikeouts and no walks. Manager Oliver Marmol is once again happy with Leahy's performance.
Mixed really well. Used all his stuff the way he wanted to, the way we would want him to. Do some really good right-on-right changeups. I got a punch out on one of them with Trout. Overall, I felt like he gave us a really good shot. I mean, got clipped for the homer, but outside of that, pitched really well.
Over his last 5 starts, Leahy has a .71 ERA, having given up just 2 runs on 12 hits in 25 1/3 innings with 20 strikeouts and only 7 walks. His whip is .75 and average against 143 during this 5-game run. Matt Pauley, KMOX Sports.
The Brewers, meanwhile, have taken over as the number 1 team in all of baseball as they beat the Mets yesterday 8-3. They only needed their starter, Jacob Mizorowski, to go 7 innings. They are that good. They have a 7-game lead on the Cubs in the Central. They're 63-37. The Cardinals are in the wild card race. They are the last team in the wild card right now, tied with the Marlins and the Pirates with a record of 51-48. Marlins, by the way, have lost 7 in a row. The surprise is the Boston Red Sox. They've won 14 in a row, and they have taken over the final playoff spot in the American League at the moment. The Missouri Tigers, they would love to get into the college football playoff, but the 9-game SEC schedule is one thing that's difficult, according to head coach Eli Drinkwitz, as he tells ABC 17's Natalie Jones. It's the challenge of the stadiums that they play in.
We're all saying it. We're all saying it. I think we're all saying it when we look at our schedules. It's going to be a real challenge. I think Coach Kiffin has been somebody who's been, whether publicly or privately, been able to he's been the one on the forefront even last year in these meetings saying, guys, I don't think that this is the right play for us. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. And we got to meet those challenges head on now. I think the one thing that we don't get enough credit for in the SEC is the challenge of the stadiums that we play in. in the environments that we play in. I think, obviously FIFA World Cup has done a tremendous job of putting our stadiums on display. And the stadiums they're playing in, they're great stadiums, but they're not comparable to the SEC stadiums that you're talking about. I mean, I think yesterday FIFA's World Championship was in front of 80,000. Well, that's 25,000 short of some of these other stadiums that we play in Death Valley and Athens and Ben Griffin Hill. I think it's 88,000, but
it's one way to look at it. I will say in the Big Ten that Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State all have over 100,000 in their stadiums as well. But at any rate, Missouri will open on September 3rd against Arkansas Pine Bluff. Drinkwitz did say that running back Ahmad Hardy has been medically cleared after getting shot in Mississippi over the summer. He has recovered from that, but as for his football recovery, that is still weeks away from knowing fully when he can be back. I'm Tom Ackerman. The cut of the game sponsored by The Diamond Shop, thediamondshop.net.
Last year, I had back pain radiating down my right leg. The pain was so bad I was willing to cut my leg off to stop the pain. I could barely walk and had to stoop over when I did just to take pressure off the spine. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. In my professional career, I've represented thousands of people who've had herniated discs and issues with their neck and back, but never fully appreciated what they were going through until it was my turn. It's like trying to describe colors to a blind person who's never had sight. All I can tell you is it hurt like hell, but worse. My daily walk was gone, and that bothered me a great deal. Then I thought of all of you and how much more devastating this type of injury could be for you. My life stopped. I now feel your pain. Just know at Morgan & Morgan, we got your back. I understand. Morgan means more.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Hey, let's just talk for a second here about your home that you want to sell. U.S. existing home sales decreased by 2.4% last month, and the prices are up 1.8% year over year. What does that mean for you? Well, it doesn't mean anything, really. If you have to sell a home, you have to sell a home. So you need a realtor who has not just experience, but the confidence to know that she can sell your home and she'll guarantee it in writing. That's Gloria Liu of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. So if you want a sure thing, call Gloria. Another sure thing is that Gloria is expanding her team, because Gloria and her team don't just sell a few homes a year. They sell hundreds of homes a year. And if you're looking to level up a real estate career or know someone who is, Gloria is hiring motivated inside sales and listing agents right now. So whether you want a proven winner selling your home or you would like to do the selling, call Gloria Liu, 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888. You can get more information now at gloriahasthebuyers.com.
Total Information AM on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Let's check back in with Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, we got some slow traffic right now, Tom, on North 270, 55 up to Tesson Ferry from that earlier crash that was on Tesson Ferry. I believe they've got that cleared up now, and then it's slow up the hill from Doherty Ferry to Manchester. Northbound Telegraph, Christopher up through Baumgartner. You've got some congestion running through there. Eastbound 30, approaching Mauer up the hill to 270. That's slow. Out west, we still look great. Southbound 61, eastbound 70, and 64 coming out of the Wentzville area, out of St. Charles County across the Missouri River bridges. No delays downtown. There's some volume on westbound 64 from Baugh Avenue over to 3rd Street, and then it's just a little busy on the Poplar, and we have roadwork delays eastbound 5570 from 203 most of the way into 111, but otherwise the rest of the highways aren't bad. There's just a little slowdown eastbound 70 from the Spencer overpass up through 370 currently. Next update at 7:30 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Retirement. Exciting in one way, scary in others. How do you find the financial advisor that covers all the bases? Join Greg Ayler Saturdays at 1 on Fire Your Financial Advisor.
Oh, we could see some rain this morning, maybe a spotty shower or a thunderstorm. Otherwise, the rest of the day, it should start clearing. We'll see sunshine. That said, it's going to be breezy, hot, and humid with a high of 93. But this is our last super hot day until the weekend. Tomorrow, 81 degrees with lower humidity, partly sunny, 80 on Thursday, 76 as a high on Friday. Right now, it's 81 degrees downtown.
It's 7:23. Total Information AM on KMOX continues. The U.S. Defense Secretary wants to test troops for testosterone levels. Health experts are expressing concern that increased use of testosterone replacement therapy could have risks.
Testosterone aids the male physique, helping to build muscle mass and contributing to energy and sex drive. Testosterone naturally starts to decline when men are in their mid-30s. Women also produce testosterone and see a drop after their 40s. OSF Medical Group physician assistant Lucas Edwards tells KMOX supplementing can cause issues, including increased likelihood of blood clots.
And also for young men, specifically, men that want to have a baby with their partner, it can also suppress sperm production and affect your fertility.
Edwards says if women use testosterone replacement therapy to boost energy and libido, it can increase body and facial hair, but also trigger male pattern baldness. Fred Bottomer, KMOX News.
This is Megan Lynch. If you want to help your body's natural testosterone levels, a good balanced diet is key. That includes intake of healthy fats.
Because that is going to be the main macronutrient that helps create the hormones and for that bioavailability piece.
Michelle Wilson, registered dietitian with Brands Nutrition, says getting enough magnesium and zinc in your diet are also helpful.
Megan will have more on this topic coming up at 8:50 here on Total Information AM.
Mary J. Armstrong, the longest-serving president of the American Federation of Teachers, St. Louis Local 420, AFL-CIO, passed away following a long illness on Sunday. Current President Ray Cummings says in a release, Armstrong was a product of the St. Louis Public Schools, a Vashon graduate, a distinguished alum of Harris-Stowe, and served as a major in the United States Air Force Reserves. Funeral arrangements have not been announced.
A new federal law aims to hold colleges accountable for making sure that their graduates get a return on their investment in the form of well-paying jobs after graduation. But as KCBS's Megan Gouldsby reports, it's complicated.
The law, part of the big, beautiful bill, will cut off federal financial aid from colleges that can't prove most of their graduates make at least the median wage of someone in the state who has only a high school diploma.
I think any student would expect that. That equates to about $18 an hour.
And the vast majority of California schools and programs already meet that threshold right now, says Michael Itzkowitz, founder and president of the HEA Group, which specializes in research on college access and value. The ones that don't, though, are centered in the arts and certificate services like cosmetology.
So this really leaves a big question mark in terms of how those programs should be funded.
Without federal grants and loans, most students wouldn't be able to attend college.
About 70% of students across the nation receive some sort of federal aid.
Schools have a few more years to try to meet the standards before that money is cut. Megan Gouldsby, KCBS.
This summer saw record World Cup ticket prices along with climbing gas and airline prices. So would you consider going into debt to travel?
The company Experience says a majority of people they polled, 79% in fact, would consider financing big events so they can attend.
They're putting their priorities front and center, and for them, the priority is still having experiences.
Christina Roman, consumer advocate with Experience.
We always just encourage careful planning. It's still important to have experiences, but how can you do that within a realistic budget?
And while keeping your credit in line, she emphasizes that utilization is the second biggest factor impacting your credit score.
Are you going to max your credit card out to go on a vacation or to attend a major event?
Hopefully not. She advises instead careful planning and shopping around, and of course, using your credit card benefits. There's often some that go unused for years, like travel discounts, points, and even cash back. Rebecca Goodion, KCBS.
It is now 7:27. The time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
There's an old joke about Uncle Sam's new tax short form. The first line says, "How much did you make?" The next line says, "Send it in." Really, not that funny, but that's what a lot of people do in retirement. They take money out of their 401k or IRA and end up sending it in when they pay taxes. Steve All of the All Financial Group invites you to take their tax challenge. What if your current plan included thousands of dollars in unnecessary taxes and fees, or maybe higher Medicare premiums or a lower Social Security check? What if the savings you realized could allow you to retire early? Wouldn't you want to know about that right now? Take the All Financial Group Tax Challenge and find out. There's no charge. Call Steve today at 636-230-8824. That's 636-230-8824 or online at yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
What do parents think of back to school at Staples, where 24-pack Crayola crayons are just 50 cents?
Staples has folders, notebooks, and pens at great prices.
I'm smiling from ear to ear.
It's the most wonderful time.
Mom, I missed the bus of the year.
It's a wonderful time at Staples, where school supplies start at just 25 cents. Staples.
That was easy.
Visit your local Staples today or shop online and in the app. Ends 9/12. Exclusions apply.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this ad for your morning commute to wake you up, which could help your driving. Science says that stimulating the brain increases alertness. So here's a pop quiz. How many months have 28 days? What gets wetter as it dries? What has keys but can't open locks? If you don't want to hear the answers, turn off this Liberty Mutual ad now. 12 months, a towel, piano. Enjoy being fully alert.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
On July 15th, 2026, Odyssey License, LLC, licensee of KMOX, 1120 St. Louis, Missouri, and KMOX FM, 104.1 Hazelwood, Missouri, filed an application with the Federal Communications Commission to assign the station's license to Hoffman Media Group, LLC. Members of the public wishing to view the application or obtain information about how to file comments and petitions to the application can visit publicfiles.fcc.gov and search in the KMOX FM's or KMOX's public file.
It's 7:30. Roger Brand is in the overhead door company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Tom, we're slow on northbound 270 as you ramp on from 55 up to about the Sappington or overpass. Then it bogs down again as you approach 44 up to Manchester. There's a little busy stretch around Clayton Road and just a little slowdown north of 64. It gets better the further north you get, really, once you get past Manchester. If you're on eastbound 64, it's slow. 170 to Big Bend. Westbound 64 in McCausland, headed out to Hanley. There's a couple of pockets where it's bogging down a little bit. There's a little bit of a slowdown now. Southbound 61 coming down through the Big Creek toward W, and also south of Wentzville Parkway down to 64. It's just kind of off the pace running through there. Northbound Telegraph, Christopher up through Baumgartner, you've got to back up. More volume on the Illinois side as well. Westbound 64 approaching 25th Street, all the way over through 3rd Street, and then on the Poplar, it's busy. And eastbound 5570, 203 into 111, you've got a roadwork delay running that direction as well. Also southbound 170, a little busy past an airport road. Next update is 740 from the overhead door company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
All right, we could see some showers, maybe a thunderstorm this morning. Other than that, things should be clearing up and we'll have sunshine today. It'll be hot, humid, breezy, 93 degrees. And then that's it for a few days. We get some relief. Tomorrow's high just 81 with lower humidity, 80 on Thursday, and 76 as a high on Friday. Then it goes back up to the upper 80s. But right now it's already 81 degrees.
Jury selection is underway for the man accused of seriously injuring a Ferguson police officer. 30-year-old Elijah Gant faces 12 charges, including second-degree assault. He's charged for pushing former officer Travis T.J. Brown to the ground during a protest in August 2024, which authorities say give Brown a traumatic brain injury. Jury selection started yesterday and is underway again this morning.
Data center regulations in St. Louis City will be delayed after an amendment made a significant change.
An amendment overwhelmingly approved by the Board of Aldermen creates an exemption process for data centers that cannot meet clean energy requirements through no fault of their own. Alderwoman Ann Schweitzer sponsors the bill, but voted against the amendment and says this requires the bill to undergo further review.
Because significant amendments were made today, the bill needs to go back to the Planning Commission for further review.
The Planning Commission is not due to meet until next week, and the timeline moving forward is unclear. Schweitzer says she would still vote for her regulations bill, but preferred the original version. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
Yesterday, air conditioning failed at a shelter in St. Louis, leaving over 60 dogs in the heat. A power outage at Care STL left dogs in dangerous temperatures as the shelter took to Facebook, asking residents to consider taking a dog. The fastest way to help is by fostering or adopting, the Post read in part. Every dog who leaves today means one less dog in the building while we're without air conditioning. But by yesterday evening, Ackerman crews did restore power to the building.
Thousands of people are expected to flood downtown tonight for the Usher Chris Brown concert at the Dome, as well as other events in the downtown area. 2 road closures will affect traffic in the area, including the closure of Cole Street from 7th to Broadway and Convention Plaza between Broadway and 7th. City police say they will be patrolling the area and encourage anyone who sees anything suspicious to call 911.
Well, at least they got the sinkhole repaired.
Yes, no one will be driving into that.
That is a good thing. It is 7:34, and the news is sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. Your Money Minute next.
Chris Ronchi and Amy Markscores connect you with the people, places, and conversations that bring our community together.
And now you get to hear about poo-poo in a box from a firefighter.
No, come on.
The hammerhead worm. And you get to hear about car fires.
And sinkholes.
And sinkholes. I love our newsroom. I think they're doing a great job.
From neighborhood happenings to local heroes, from everyday challenges to unforgettable stories. Chris and Amy, weekdays from 9 to noon on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
New Game Plus with Oxy makes your laundry smell incredible and fights stubborn smells, like the ones your dog Biscuit brought into your freshly made bed last night. But you wash that all away with Game, and now you're drifting asleep to the scent and sound of waves. Ah, nope, that's the dog licking your ear.
Biscuit.
It just might be our greatest scent ever, now with odor fighting power. New Game Plus with Oxy.
Let me tell you something about insurance. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. But your business runs all year, so do the gaps and the risk. So go to supersure.com. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just go buy a policy online. Supersure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At supersure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts. It'll translate your current policy into plain English so you see what's covered and what's not. Plus a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what actually needs protecting. Go to supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Supersure.com. That's supersure.com. Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
It is 6:36, and we're 4 minutes away from updating you on traffic and weather. It looks a little cloudy out there right now, but we should see some sun as we head through the day. Right now, it's time for your Money Minute from Bloomberg. It's sponsored for you by Busey Bank.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Mercedes is reportedly lobbying to soften a proposed law that could ban the company from the U.S. over its partial Chinese ownership. The bipartisan Senate bill introduced in April would prohibit the sale of connected vehicles by automakers that are more than 15% owned by Chinese entities. Mercedes is 20% Chinese owned, and sources say it's pushing to raise that threshold to 25%. Checking on the markets, investors are looking ahead to the kickoff of earnings season for the technology giants. All eyes will be on Google parent Alphabet's results tomorrow. Ahead of that, stock futures are looking at solid gains. And volleyball is taking over girls' high school sports. It's continuing to gain traction, becoming the second most popular team sport in the past school year, with more than 492,000 registered female athletes. The volleyball craze has been spreading around the country, leading to a shortage of courts and coaches, and marketers are starting to wake up to the opportunities. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
This is the take care of my family goal. This is the enjoy the life I've built goal. This is the set up a foundation goal. This is Busey, where your goals become lasting legacies. Through bespoke plans that maximize your wealth, through partnerships that give you peace of mind. Because building wealth, tending to it, and passing it down secures a brighter future. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
So much to love about summer, longer days, backyard barbecues. But if you've noticed your air conditioning running constantly or certain rooms just never seem to cool down, could be your windows. Right now with Universal Windows Direct, you buy 4 windows, you're going to get 4 windows for free. You're also going to get 48 months of 0% interest financing, same as cash, 4 full years to pay off those windows. 314-334-2522 or universalwindowsdirect.com.
Bill, you're an old politician.
Yup, sure am.
So you know the old timers warned that someone trying to sell you a pig in a poke was a con man.
Well, sure.
Well, no offense, Tom, but your Politicians Amendment 5 is a pig in a poke, allowing politicians to raise our taxes without a vote of the people. And the Politicians Amendment 4 takes away our power to do anything about it. Well, let's look at what's really inside Ford 5.
Oh, don't do that.
5 hits hardest seniors and those struggling financially with new taxes on services like doctor visits, in-home care, and rent. Sales taxes could more than triple. For up to 80% of Missourians, it's a tax hike. And Amendment 4 ends majority rule, effectively ending our power to stop corrupt and out-of-control politicians.
Slick plan, huh?
No, Tom. 4 and 5 are schemes that hurt citizens and transfer our power and our money to politicians and lobbyists. That's why I'm voting no on the Politicians Amendments 4 and 5, paid for by Missourians for Fair Government.
When pain starts to slow you down, BJC Healthcare and WashU Medicine orthopedic specialists are here to help. Nationally recognized leaders in orthopedics deliver care that's informed by research and personalized for you. From everyday aches to complex injuries and recovery, we're here to help you get back to doing what you love. Find an orthopedic specialist today. Visit bjc.org/orthopedics or call 314-362-9355.
Giddy up! It's the Cardinal Cowboy. Don't let garage door problems bench your summer plans. From repairs, tune-ups, and replacements, Renner Garage Door hits a grand slam every time. Score a free repair or replacement quote today, plus $100 off a new garage door. Featuring trusted brands like Delden, Amar, and LiftMaster, Renner delivers the quality, reliability, and performance your home can count on. RennerDoorSTL.com. Forward and back.
RENNER, RENNER.
This is the Gas House Gang from KMOX.
Bernie Nicholas and the Gas House Gang, today at noon on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
Ollie Marble, Cardinals manager, will join us today at noon. It's been a tough couple of days for the Cardinals as they saw leads evaporate and 2 gut-wrenching losses. We'll discuss it with Ollie at noon today. Bernie Nicholas, Chris Ranji join me. Right now, Roger Brand, Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
We're at the busy time of the morning, Tom. If you're on the highways heading into work, this traffic reports a service of Ricken Financial, southbound 61, approaching 6470, ramping onto eastbound 70, slow, and eastbound 70, Bryan Road most of the way into K's busy. There's a little backup 5th Street headed to the Blanchette. I can't see if there's anything blocking there, but it is a little congested. North 270, slow pockets as you ramp on from 55 to Sappington through Gravois, and then 44 most of the way up to Manchester is pretty heavy. There's a little slowdown around Clayton Road. If you're on eastbound 64, you have a brief slowdown at Clarkson. It's heavy just east of McKnight into Big Bend. Westbound 64, Hampton to Hanley heavy. South 170 just delays at the U Club Tower. Eastbound 30, approaching Mauer up the hill to 270s. Heavy Manchester approaching Sulphur Springs, a little backed up. Telegraph, Christopher up through Baumgartner on the brakes. And 40 northbound 55 from Arsenal up to Gravois looks heavy. And on the Illinois side, westbound 64, midway between 111 and 25th Street, all the way to the Poplars, heavy. And eastbound 5570, 203 past 111, midway to 255 is slow. Next update is 750 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Income is the outcome that matters the most in retirement. Join us for Kickin' with the Rickens, Redefining Retirement with Jerry Ricken and Heidi Ricken Provost every Saturday at 3 p.m. right here on KMOX, and get more at rickenfinancial.com.
It's time for Joe Lundberg, our AccuWeather meteorologist, to join us and deliver the good news that a cool down is on the way.
Cold front's going to be coming through later today, Debbie. Ahead of it, lots of clouds now and even a shower in places, although a lot of the rain that we saw early this morning is pretty much fallen apart. So a spotty shower or thunderstorm between now and maybe lunchtime. But then after that, clouds give way to more and more sunshine. It's going to get breezy. It's going to get hot. The humidity is going to be pretty high most of the day, hence the heat advisory till 7 this evening. But as we get to sunset, I think you'll notice the drop in the humidity levels. Our high gets to 93, and that's going to set the stage for some comfy weather through the midweek period. Clearing skies tonight down to 66. Sunshine mixes with clouds tomorrow, only 81. Partly sunny Thursday, about 80. May not get to 80 on Friday with clouds on the increase and a couple of afternoon showers. But they go away and the warmth builds on Saturday, back to 88 under partly to mostly sunny skies. 83 at St. Peter's, and in Florissant, 85 with lots of clouds downtown at the Arch. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Joe, thank you. Sports in 2 minutes. Eli Drinkwitz with an update on Mizzou running back Ahmad Hardy. It's 7:43. With the U.S. and Iran continuing to spar over the fate of the Strait of Hormuz, U.S. gas prices are on the rise again. The national average for a gallon of gas tipping over $4 a gallon again yesterday after weeks of costs staying under, leaving some drivers frustrated at the push and pull overpaying at the pump. Patrick DeHaan, the head of petroleum analysis at Gas Buddy, gives his current projections for gas prices should these strikes continue.
At least for now, gas prices are rising in virtually every state for gasoline and diesel. It's not a surprise given the new developments over the last week as the U.S. and Iran return to escalations. And it's hard to know how long these escalations could last.
Following this weekend's passing of 3 American service members overseas, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer Monday says Democrats will once again bring President Trump's war on Iran to the Senate floor.
In the coming days, we're going to make Senate Republicans take another vote on our War Powers Resolution to end this war and get our troops out of harm's way. Trump needs to stop this catastrophe and bring our troops home. And Senate Republicans can't let him off the hook until he does.
Chaos outside of a federal building in New York City yesterday morning after a man described by police as an anti-government extremist set off an incendiary device to set a fire, injuring 3 and prompting a large-scale law enforcement response. ABC's Aaron Katursky in Manhattan with more on the suspect, who was quickly taken into custody.
They identified Andrew Arabaka as the suspect, 43 years old, lives in Poughkeepsie, New York, upstate, with an address also in Harlem. And it turns out that he served in the United States Army for 4 years between 2001 and 2005, worked on Patriot missile systems during that time in the service. And at some point, according to the authorities, he became anti-government, anti-ICE.
Let's get started on Ins and Outs, sponsored by Innsbrook Resort, where every day is the weekend, with KMOX's Matt Pauley.
The Cardinals suffered their second consecutive gut punch loss, losing to the Angels 3-2 after taking a 2-1 lead to the bottom of the ninth. All-star closer Riley O'Brien does not command his pitches, recording just 1 out, allowing 2 runs on 2 hits with 1 walk and 2 hit batters, the second coming with the bases loaded, forcing in the game-winning run. Manager Oliver Marmol chalks it up to a bad night for O'Brien.
Yeah, lost command of it. He's been really good, like you said. Had an off night.
Coming into the game, O'Brien had not given up a run in his last 8 appearances dating back to June 21st and had not blown a save since May 19th. Matt Pauley, KMOX Sports.
Ollie Marmol will be our guest on the Gas House Gang at noon today. The Cardinals currently are in a 3-way tie for the final playoff spot in the National League wildcard race. Ahmad Hardy, shot in the leg at a concert in Laurel, Mississippi in May, has been medically cleared to practice once again. Here is Coach Eli Drinkwitz at SEC Media Days.
I know that I've been asked a lot about Ahmad, and I did the very best that I could to save this update for the main stage. So what I want to tell y'all is this was a great opportunity for Ahmad to learn, and it was a great opportunity for our student athletes to learn. And it was also a great reminder that there is no place for gun violence in this world, and that we need to do a better job of policing gun violence, not criticizing the police or the rights to bear arms, which is a Second Amendment right, but just saying that there is no place for gun violence, especially for our youth in society. Ahmad has been medically cleared from the bullet that struck him, and he is on the road to recovery. He did have the bullet did strike a bone in his body, and that has been fully healed and cleared. And today was his first day back towards a full recovery. We anticipate that he will make a recovery. What that recovery will look like after having a bullet strike you is still to be determined. We do not know exactly what the return to play progression is because there's not a lot of literature and data on this, but we are utilizing our medical team along with our athletic performance team and nutrition to approach this at a very good pace. We do anticipate that this return to play protocol could take anywhere between 5 to 8 weeks. And at the end of the 8 weeks, we still don't know what his recovery will be from is he the same Ahmad Hardy that was last year? My anticipation and what I've seen, the way he's attacked his rehab, he's going to be a better Ahmad Hardy than when he was before.
And he was one of the best running backs in the country last year. Missouri will open the season September 3rd at home against Arkansas Pine Bluff. Our parlay of the day is college football related, and we'll get to that in just a moment. First, let me tell you about Innsbruck Resort, where every day is the weekend. Just spent a weekend at Innsbruck recently. It's still outstanding. In fact, it gets better and better, it seems, every single year with 100 lakes, 7,500 acres, so much land and water to play in. But you also have those beautiful homes where you can kick back and relax and enjoy a vacation weekend, maybe just with your family, or perhaps you invite a few people to join you and you just have a great time at Innsbruck. It's located right near St. Louis. It's under an hour from our house. We live in St. Louis County. It is just a fantastic place. It's located in Warren County, just off the Wright City exit. It's Innsbruck, innsbruck-resort.com. Every day is the weekend. Now for that parlay of the day, sponsored by Circus Sports, sports betting the way it should be. Oh, let's start getting into some college football. That's going to be a big focus of our parlays of the day moving forward. Who do you think is the favorite to win the national championship? You want to take a guess? The answer is Texas at plus 650. Ohio State follows them at plus 700. Then you find Notre Dame plus 725, Oregon plus 730, Georgia plus 950. Where's Indiana, the national champion? Plus 1,000 is the answer to that question. Interesting. Miami plus 1150, LSU plus 1,700. You got to go pretty far down to find Missouri. Illinois is 200 to 1, and Missouri is just above them at 150 to 1. If I were to look at one that would bring me some value, I'm kind of interested in Texas A&M to see how they look. I'm not ready to make a determination yet, but plus 2,500 looks pretty good to me. Parlay of the day, sponsored by Circus Sports, sports betting the way it should be.
America is turning 250 this year, and Circus Sports is celebrating by offering all users in Missouri $250. For everyone in Missouri, all you have to do is deposit $250 on your Circus Sports app, then play through that deposit. Once you do, Circus Sports will reward you with $250 right in your account. This is available for everyone in Missouri, new and existing users. Celebrate 250 years and find out more at circusports.com today. Must be 21 or older and in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. After suffering an injury, you may face many hard questions. What will tomorrow bring? Which firm should I choose to represent me and my family? At Morgan & Morgan, we will hold your hand every step of the way. From our one-click sign-up, mobile apps, and 24/7 availability, we make it easy to get your case started right from the comfort of your couch. All firms are not the same. The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM, KMOX. Total Information AM, Debbie Monterrey, Megan Lynch, Tom Ackerman on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
7:52. Here's Roger Brandon, the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Debbie, northbound 270 is slow approaching Gravois, running all the way up through Manchester. If you're on eastbound 64, there's a little slowdown at Clarkson, then east of Lindbergh into Big Bend. It's heavy. South 170 bogs down at Brentwood. Westbound 64, the Science Center through Big Bend is heavy. Eastbound 70, still a slowdown approaching 94 to 5th Street. Then it starts opening up. Northbound 55, a little busy. Arsenal midway up to Gravois in the earlier incident there. A lot of volume on the Illinois side. Westbound 64 backing up. Approaching 25th Street, pockets of stop-go headed to the Poplar, and eastbound 5570 from 203 most of the way into 111's heavy. Westbound's a little slow past that point as well. Next update is 7:58 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
As for our weather, Roger, we're looking at humid conditions today. Hot, high of 93. Tonight, we get clearer and more comfortable conditions, low 66. Tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds, not as warm, lower humidity, and a high of 81. It's 83 right now.
It is 7:53. Nurses at SSM Health St. Louis University Hospital are rallying tomorrow morning to demand the reinstatement of 2 colleagues whom they say were fired for union activity. Jessica Tulk and Earlene Shepard were terminated after talking to nurses at other SSM facilities about unionizing. Their union says that is a protected activity. SSM has not commented. The rally is at 8 a.m. outside the hospital on South Grand.
Copper is again becoming a popular target for thieves. Speaking on KMOX, ABC News national correspondent Jim Ryan says the value of copper has roughly doubled in the past year.
$6.33. That's the per pound price of copper right now in the spot market.
Ryan says increasing demand for copper in the construction of data centers is what's driving the cash market higher. He says some companies like AT&T in Missouri continue to offer rewards for tips about copper thieves.
How hot was it yesterday? Well, Monday's Big Boy stop in Pacific sent up to 25 people to emergency responders with heat-related illness. Merrimack Ambulance District declaring a mass casualty incident around 11:30 yesterday, calling in 10 agencies and 20 emergency units. 3 people were hospitalized. The rest treated on scene and released.
How long have you been out here?
I just got here. My friend Rose lives in Webster, and she called me, and she's like, I'm watching Big Boy. And I was supposed to be at work at 10 o'clock, and I'm like, okay, I'll make a story out of it. I'll come meet you.
I walked my dogs this morning, and we do a long walk. I got home, and he was like, I thought we were going to see the train.
Aww.
And I was like, so we raced down here. And I didn't wake he has a twin. I didn't wake him, so I'm waiting for the phone call of, why didn't you wake me?
Oh, he's going to be bummed out. Yeah. And the fact that they're doing this on the 250th anniversary is cool.
Couldn't make it any better. It's been an amazing year.
In Webster Groves, Maria Kina, KMOX News.
Big Boy is the world's largest operating steam locomotive and puffed its way from Union Station to Herman.
Hundreds of thousands of visitors to Kansas City Union Station during the World Cup. We get more from Brian Locke.
Union Station welcomed more than 400,000 visitors between June 10th and July 12th during the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Officials say more than 38,000 vehicles parked at Union Station, over 70,000 riders used its streetcar stop, and Amtrak served more than 25,000 passengers at Union Station, an 11% increase from the same period in 2025. The station's City of Entrepreneurs Marketplace featured more than 115 small businesses, drew an estimated 120,000 visitors, and generated more than $1 million in revenue for local vendors.
It's 7:56.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Paramount Men's Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Paramount Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Paramount Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 314-720-8444. 314-720-8444. Take control of your sex life. Call now. 314-720-8444.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Most of us are one good deal away from finally replacing that worn-out rug.
fixing up the backyard, or getting the bedroom we actually want. Good news, that deal's almost here. Wayfair's Black Friday and July sale. Get up to 80% off area rugs and up to 60% off outdoor and bedroom furniture. Shop Wayfair's huge selection of styles and find the piece to fit your style, budget, and space. Plus, free shipping. Black Friday in July ends July 27th. Shop today at wayfair.com.
Wayfair, every style, every
You guys know Zero Res, the zero residue carpet cleaner that leaves your carpets truly clean with no dirt attracting soaps or harsh chemicals. Don't risk it with the other guys and skip the do-it-yourself disasters that leave your carpet soaked for days. This month, get 3 rooms of carpet zero resified starting at just $129. Call 314-474-2020 or you can book online at ZeroResSTL.com. Just ask for the DGS special at ZeroResSTL.com.
Here is Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, we got heavy traffic downtown, Debbie. Westbound 64 approaching 25th Street. Stop-and-go pockets all the way to the Poplar. Eastbound 5570, 203 about midway into 111's heavy. Northbound 270 approaching Gravois midway to 44 slow, and then north of Big Bend to Manchester. Eastbound 64 McKnight through Hanley's heavy. Westbound 64 Hampton through Big Bend slow. South 170 backs up at Brentwood. Eastbound Highway 70, a couple of pockets from 94 into the 270 interchange. Next update at 8:10 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
78 degrees with a cloudy sky in downtown St. Louis. It was just 80 a moment ago, so we've dropped. We're going to drop, but not too much.
This is AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg. A stray morning shower or thunderstorm. Otherwise, look for more and more sunshine later today. Our afternoon high 93.
The demand for geospatial tech is increasing. Learn more about a new center launching at St. Louis University after the news.
Chinese companies roll out new AI models. What could that mean for American tech giants propping up Wall Street? We will go in depth.
Softer paint and softer words. 4 Missouri prisons trying out Scandinavian methods.
And what you eat, how does that impact your testosterone levels? Megan Lynch asked dietitian Michelle Wilson.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. A federal appeals court has just rejected a request by former President Joe Biden to block the release of recordings and transcripts from interviews he did before he was elected president. The interviews were with a ghostwriter working on a Biden memoir. Those recordings were obtained by special counsel Robert Hur, who investigated Biden's handling of classified documents but declined to bring any charges. As the U.S. military hits Iranian targets for the 10th consecutive night, the Trump administration looks for more money. ABC Chief Global Affairs anchor Martha Raddatz.
The administration is requesting nearly $70 billion to pay for this war, and Secretary Hegseth and the Joint Chiefs Chairman will be on the Hill to defend that request. They will also likely be asked about the injuries and fatalities.
17 Americans have died since the war started. Dozens have been hurt. Strong storms are expected to hammer the Northeast today, and Tropical Storm Bertha could run into the Louisiana coast sometime tomorrow. This is ABC News. 5 people were killed in an Ohio river over the weekend. The group had gathered Sunday in the Columbus suburbs. When one of them went for a swim in the river, he was struggling. The others, trying to help, jumped in, also ended up struggling. A driver called 911 after a child ran to the road to call for help. Doctors say it's a miracle. The odds of it being repeated, 1 in 15 million. A 34-year-old woman from Australia delivering 4 identical quadruplet girls. Their doctor is Alexa Badal.
One fertilized egg that then splits not once, not twice, but 3 times into 4 different babies, who then share a placenta. That is just incredible.
The girls' names are Emily, Harriet, Catherine, and Alexa, named for the doctor who took care of their mom during pregnancy.
It's just such a lovely present and such an honor. And I can't thank the family enough. I'm very happy that they'll have a little Alexa in their family forevermore.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
At 8:02, we have cloudy skies, 84 degrees downtown at the Arch. This is Tuesday, July 21st. I'm Megan Lynch. A bill regulating data centers in St. Louis City stalled during a special session yesterday.
The bill will be sent back to the Planning Commission after an amendment established an exemption process for data centers that cannot meet clean energy requirements. Alderwoman Ann Schweitzer is sponsoring the regulations bill, but voted against the exemption process, saying it weakens her bill compared to the original, where the city would find the data centers.
In order to make industry happy, they weakened a regulation that is already possible and has already been a big compromise to make sure that it could happen.
Schweitzer says the change is so significant it requires the regulations go back before the Planning Commission, delaying the regulations indefinitely. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
Missouri Attorney General Catherine Hanaway tells KMOX she's investigating Cori Bush's nonprofit. It comes after the former Congresswoman solicited donations to her nonprofit for tornado relief as it was donating to her PAC, which was paying her. But with the primary election weeks away, will voters get answers about how the nonprofit handled finances in time? It's unlikely, says Hanaway.
The return date on the civil investigative demand is after the primary, so probably not.
Hanaway says she has made no assumptions about the investigation and will go where the evidence leads. No excuse absentee voting starts today in St. Charles County. Director of Elections Kurt Barr tells KMOX it allows voters to go to the election authority office or to satellite offices.
Vote before Election Day without having to give an excuse like they're going to be out of town or they have a medical issue or one of the other excuses that is typically required for absentee voting.
You must show identification such as a driver's license, state ID, passport, or military ID. The no excuse absentee voting can be done up until Monday, August 3rd, the day before the primary election. A member of the St. Louis County Council wants to eliminate the need for senior citizens to reapply for the senior property tax freeze. The council set to meet tonight at 6:30. Councilmember Dennis Hancock expected to introduce legislation that would eliminate the need for seniors to reapply for the property tax freeze every year. The move comes after similar legislation was passed by the St. Charles County Council, where eligible seniors in that county only have to apply for the tax freeze once instead of every year. The Ladue City Council heard an earful from residents last night before voting unanimously against a developer who wants to build at the former Rock Hill Quarries. The meeting was moved from City Hall to Ladue Horton Watkins High School due to the number of people who wanted to speak. TriStar Properties wanted to build the first ever apartments in Ladue, along with townhomes and commercial space. Residents complained about increased flooding risk, traffic congestion, and changing the character of the area. The crowd applauded when the city council voted down the proposal, which is being sent back to the Zoning and Planning Commission for more review.
This group of firefighters that are involved, they're all hard workers, proud to call themselves St. Louis City firefighters. So it's kind of grown a life and legacy of its own.
St. Louis Fire Chief Dennis Jenkerson tells KMOX the incident over the weekend where the American flag was flying upside down at one of the firehouses was an accident.
Chief Jenkerson says there was no malice and it was not intentional.
I'll take the fault, I'll take the hit, but I'll do my very best to make sure it doesn't happen again. And I'm pretty sure they got my feelings on what happened over the weekend.
Someone made a social media post about the flag. An off-duty firefighter saw the flag while he was passing by and called the firehouse. They immediately corrected the mistake then.
I really appreciate the people watching our homes, taking a look. And, it's you hate to use the term, it is what it is, but we had a kerfluffle. It's fixed. It was discussed. I'm sure we're not going to have another kerfluffle for some time.
Maria Aquina, KMOX News.
Jury selection underway for the man accused of seriously injuring a Ferguson police officer. 30-year-old Elijah Gant faces 12 charges, including second-degree assault. He's charged with pushing former officer Travis T.J. Brown to the ground during a protest in August of 2024. Authorities say it gave Brown a traumatic brain injury. Jury selection started yesterday. 8% of the St. Louis County budget spent on security on and at Metrolink and Metrobus routes. That's according to Ken Sharkey, the managing director of the St. Clair County Transit District. This fiscal year, the county has spent $4.1 million on security details along the routes, partnering with local departments, including Shiloh, Belleville, Swansea, Fairview Heights, and the St. Clair County Sheriff's Office. Now the Transit District is partnering with the Mascoutah Police Department for the new Metrolink extension at Mid-America St. Louis Airport, which Sharkey says should open in September.
It's just more added security. It's more prevention. So we really don't have significant issues at any of those stations that we operate in, but we just want to make sure it stays that way.
It's now 8:07. Coming up on Total Information AM, St. Louis University is launching a next generation geospatial center. We'll get all the details for you. Plus, a little bit later, Chinese companies are rolling out some new AI models direct competition with models in the U.S. Could they burst America's AI bubble? We'll find out more from ABC News technology reporter Mike Dabuski. It's now 8:08.
What do parents think of back to school at Staples, where 24-pack Crayola crayons are just 50 cents?
Staples has folders, notebooks, and pens at great prices.
I'm smiling from ear to ear. It's the most wonderful time.
Mom, I missed the bus of the year.
It's a wonderful time at Staples, where school supplies start at just 25 cents. Staples. That was easy. Visit your local Staples today or shop online and in the app. Ends 9/12. Exclusions apply.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons. And lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen. And oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live. And you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. You work hard, follow the rules, and get absolutely slammed by taxes. Your paycheck, taxed. Your property, taxed. Everything you buy, taxed. Missouri's tax system isn't broken, it's rigged against you. The lawyers and lobbyists working for big corporations and the super rich buried over 200 loopholes for themselves in our tax code. While they pay nothing on the services they use, working families are taxed over and over. It's no wonder they're lying about Amendment 5. Our corrupt tax system is rigged in their favor. They're getting a free ride on your back. Don't believe their lies. The truth is, Amendment 5 closes loopholes exploited by the super rich and slashes taxes paid by Missouri's working families, phasing out income taxes and cutting property taxes. They finally pay what they owe while you keep what you earn. Vote yes on Amendment 5. Paid for by Missouri Promise PAC.
This hour of Total Information AM is sponsored by Gamma Tree Experts. Total Information AM on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
8:10. Let's see what the roads look like with Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, things are thinning out pretty quickly, Megan. In fact, we look a lot better on northbound 270. I'm just seeing a little slowdown past 44 and Doherty Ferry, like midway up the hill to Manchester, and that's all she wrote there, so that's great. Eastbound 64, McKnight to Big Bend. There's a couple of slow spots. South 170, a little busy between Midland and Page. Westbound 64, Clayton Skinker to Hanley, that's still busy. The rest of the highways on the Missouri side don't look bad. Of course, we have that backup on the northbound Telegraph from Christopher up through Baumgartner, eastbound Manchester, approaching Sulphur Spring, northbound Clarkson, midway up from Wilson to Baxter before it was at Wilson. Illinois side still has delays. Westbound 5570, 255, midway into 111. Eastbound 5570 from 64 through 203 and right around Black Lane's a little slow. And westbound 64 from 25th Street to the Poplar, there's still some heavy traffic. In fact, it's a jam from 3rd Street to the bridge at the end of that run. Next update at 8:20 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
We'll start off with cloud and a spotty shower or thunderstorm for a while this morning, then look for increasing amounts of sunshine later today. It'll become breezy, hot, and humid, the high 93. It will turn much more comfortable tonight under mainly clear skies, low 66. Sunshine mixed with clouds tomorrow and not as warm with low humidity, high 81. Thursday, partly sunny, the high near 80. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Right now we have cloudy skies, 84 degrees downtown at the Arch. This is Total Information AM on 104.1 FM KMOX. I'm Megan Lynch. The demand for geospatial technology and solutions continues to grow. And today, St. Louis University is announcing a new geospatial center. The center's mission will focus on collaboration as it leverages geospatial tech to address society's biggest challenges. I spoke with Professor Vasit Sagan, who will lead the center as director, and Gregory Triplett, Dean of the School of Science and Engineering, where the center is housed.
When people hear about geospatial, they tend to think about a GPS or digital maps. That's only a small part of it. Geospatial science helps us understand where things happen, why they happen there, and how we can make better decisions. And that was one of the reasons that we started that effort, some years ago. And so what you see now is just a maturity level where we're able to embed a university-wide approach to issues that are impacting society, like predictive flooding, improving public health, transportation, strengthening national security. And we're providing those workforce development opportunities for our students.
What have we seen as far as the demand for geospatial technology use in other fields?
I just want to emphasize that geospatial is no longer just about maps. It's a backbone for many, many things we do today, for many other disciplines, right? And it's about how we feed the world, protect our borders, and respond to various challenges, issues. It's national security, food security, a number of things, right? So how I see geospatial is that it touches many parts of our society, many parts of the field is at St. Louis University today. I see it in mainly 3 blocks. One is, of course, the core geospatial science, which is about remote sensing, the satellites, and then the analytics, GPS, PNT, and that's the technology used today on every ship we sail, every flight, right? And communications. That's the kind of core geospatial science technology there, and where we develop tools, software, and analytics to help others. And then on one side, we have the field that powers advances geospatial, which is about AI, analytics, engineering, the new sensors we are creating, new tools, new GPS devices, right? Or biomedical engineering sensors that can allow us to collect new data sets so we can understand the world better, right? And that's like quantum sensing. Those areas, I see another block that powers geospatial, the core geospatial and advanced geospatial. And then on the other hand, we have a whole set of applied domains. You talk about public health, sociology, and looking at social issues, poverty, environmental inequality, right? From environmental issues to policies, national security issues, right? Whole applied domain. So it touches almost anything we do today at geospatial. We rely on geospatial, from tracking our Amazon packages to and predicting or looking at where would be the next big flood is and how can I avoid some, and travel plans and things like that. So that's how I see the geospatial is in terms of the field itself.
Megan, when you ask what is the demand, I immediately think about why should you care? And I just want to kind of piggyback on what Vasa said. Is literally about the students. They are the biggest beneficiaries. They'll be working alongside researchers, industry partners, and government agencies around projects that have real impact, and that's what this is about. And so it kind of touches on the things that Vasa mentioned. The reason why this is important for SLU is because this really does position St. Louis, the region, as one of the national leaders in geospatial innovation. And so when we create opportunities for our students, we attract research funding, we support businesses, and we also help government solve important problems. And so when I hear you ask the question, is there a demand there? I can tell you that there is an emphatic yes, and in multiple ways.
Talk about the geospatial ecosystem that we do have in the St. Louis region.
Well, we're already home to some extraordinary partners. Just, when you think about the National Geospatial Agency, the Taylor Geospatial Institute, you have a lot of geointelligence systems and startups in the region. SLU is really helping to educate the workforce that will be developing the next generation of innovation.
So how fast do you see this moving? Just in the next maybe 5 years, what kind of advances could be down the road as part of the work that you're going to be doing at St. Louis University?
So we are seeing new developments, new products, new analytics every week. So this is a rapidly evolving field and also very exciting. And part of this because of the AI revolution, right? And then part of this because of the proliferation of satellite technology that allows us to collect data sets, massive amount of data sets. That's also critical for AI as well, right?
Geospatial data is one of the fastest growing sources of information in the world. AI allows us to analyze enormous amount of information like satellite imagery and sensor data. And when you do that, you can identify patterns people couldn't simply detect on their own. And that means you can look at practical applications like, wildlife prediction, wildfire prediction, disease spread, crop health, transportation optimization. It spans all applications that actually impact society.
Anything else that the public should know about the launch of this new center?
This center it's part of a journey that we talked about, because geospatial research and geospatial education has been a part of SLU for many years. But the relaunch of the center really does allow St. Louis University to connect education, research, industry, and public service in ways that directly benefit our region and is very much in line with the university's mission.
Yeah, I just want to build on that. So in 2017, SLU launched a faculty-led initiative, which the Geospatial Institute, which grew into the Taylor Geospatial Institute in 2022, which was a multi-institutional consortium led by SLU, with TGI now operating as an independent nonprofit, Taylor Geospatial. SLU reinvests inward and relaunched this geospatial center more focused on the things we talked about today: workforce transformation, students, and research, and in a number of areas, right? And cutting edge AI, new sensors, and national security, food security, etc. And more impactful than ever, because we are not starting from scratch. We over the years, we have recruited over a dozen top-notch faculty in a variety of areas, core geospatial to applied domains. And then our research has grown exponentially. In 2017, we had about $500,000 in external grants. Today, we have about $20 million in external grants, right? We're not starting from scratch. Actually, we are starting very high, and really very exciting for SLU to be in the space and lead in the space.
That is Vasant Sagan, director of the Geospatial Center at St. Louis University, and Gregory Triplett, dean of SLU's School of Science and Engineering. Let's find out where you are on the map. Roger Brand is watching things from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, still some slow going out there, but not bad, Megan. This traffic reports the service of the Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm. Northbound 270 Doherty Ferry up through the Clayton Road overpass. There's still some busy traffic running on that route. If you're coming in on eastbound 64, McKnight to 170 slow. Westbound 64, about Clayton's Kink Route through Big Bend is the busiest part there. Eastbound 70 is cleared out across the Blanchette Bridge. And then downtown, we've got heavy traffic. Westbound 64, Baugh Avenue to the 70 split, then west of 3rd Street to the Poplar. Westbound 5570 from 255 most of the way to 111, backed up, and eastbound 5570 just a little slow briefly east of 203. Next update at 8:30 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
You may see a spotty shower or thunderstorm this morning. Otherwise, clouds are going to give way to increasing sunshine today. Breezy, hot, and humid, a high of 93. Right now, cloudy, 84 downtown at the Arch.
At Sandberg Phoenix, we're more than just a law firm. We're partners committed to you, your business, and your community. From family law to litigation, we're ready to serve. Visit SandbergPhoenix.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
What has your candidate actually delivered in Clayton, Ladue, Olivet, and Morrison Woods? There's just one Democrat running for state representative who can answer. That's Sidney Clark. As mayor, he's delivered more than $100 million in economic growth and some of the strongest home values in the region. Balanced budgets, steady leadership, a neighbor since 1973. And now Sidney Clark will protect what you've built, stopping costly data centers from hiking your utility bills, and voting no on Amendment 5, which actually increases taxes on everything you buy. No other candidate in this race can say it. Sidney Clark has already done the job, and he's ready from day one. Sidney Clark, results, not rhetoric. Democrat for State Representative District 99.
I'm Sidney Clark, and I approve of this message. Paid for by Sidney Clark for State Representative District 99. Tammy Clark, Treasurer.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2026 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
You're back with Total Information AM here on KMOX. I'm Megan Lynch. Chinese companies roll out new AI models. Could they burst America's AI bubble? Joining me this morning on the Quiver River Electric Gas Line, ABC News technology reporter Mike Dobuski. Mike, thanks so much for joining me this morning.
Yeah, great to be here.
What are these newest AI platforms from China?
Yeah, so there's two of them that have been getting attention in the last few days. This all started on Friday when a company called Moonshot AI released Kimi K3, which is a new large language model. They claim that in their own testing, this AI model performed better than nearly all American AI models from the likes of OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, and others. And then over the weekend, it happened again. A different Chinese tech firm called Alibaba unveiled what it's calling Qwen 3.8, again, thought to be this super advanced AI model that can go toe-to-toe with the best that America has to offer. Now, it's all well and good for tech companies of any kind to tout how good their technology is, but we actually have a relatively objective way of evaluating the power of an AI model, and that's through benchmark testing, basically SAT tests for your AI model that evaluate how good it is at math, coding, science questions, literature, that type of thing. Right now, no one's been able to independently confirm whether these models are as good as Moonshot or Alibaba say they are, but both companies say they plan to release their benchmark test scores pretty soon. Moonshot says they're going to do so on July 27th, next week. Alibaba says it's going to release its model scores soon as well. Both companies are hedging a little bit here. Both companies say their respective models are better than most of what American AI companies have cooked up. They don't say they're better than the best, however. For example, both companies say that Fable 5 from Anthropic still likely scores better than their models on benchmark tests. Even still, all of this has been enough to worry Silicon Valley and their supporters on Wall Street, with tech stocks closing down significantly on Friday following Moonshot's announcement on that day. Though it's worth mentioning, markets have recovered somewhat since then.
The one question I have about this, does this put more pressure on U.S. companies to maybe ignore some guardrails in order to show that they are innovating ahead of this Chinese competition?
Yeah, it's a great question. And to a degree, we've already heard overtures like that from Silicon Valley over the past several years. We've heard from Sam Altman, executives at Google and Meta and others saying that the Trump administration and administrations before them needed to clear the way for AI companies basically to develop things very quickly, right? Because we are in this race with China, we don't want another company to claim sort of AI supremacy on the global stage, especially if this is the technology they say it is, right? The thing that's going to usher in this next sort of technological revolution. Now, whether you believe any of that is sort of a separate question, but that is the argument that we've heard from the Sam Altmans of the world. And to a degree, we have seen the Trump administration be very favorable to AI companies, kind of pushing down the idea of sort of state-based AI regulation in favor of more comprehensive federal AI laws that would be a little looser, a little bit more favorable to the sort of business end of things. Interestingly enough, though, we have seen pushback on kind of the more fundamental scale, right? Data center legislation has passed in several states across the country, limiting sort of those crucial facilities upon which this technology is built. That seemingly has been moving forward, especially in light of, how expensive, data centers have, or how much pressure, rather, data centers have put on people's electricity bills and other things. So that is sort of the environment that, American AI companies have encountered. Another element of this on the regulatory front is this idea of export controls, right? In addition to data centers, AI companies also need very advanced AI computer chips, right? Things from like NVIDIA, a variety of other companies out there. Well, the Trump administration last year passed some pretty significant controls on what types of chips that NVIDIA can sell to Chinese firms. And the idea that, we want to keep the best chips for ourselves, the best sort of powerful stuff goes to the Americans, and then kind of the second tier American chips can go to other countries around the world. Seemingly, at least according to what we think these new Chinese models are, doesn't seem like those export controls have worked particularly well. So it might need a rethink there as well. But that's kind of the state of the regulatory environment as it stands right now.
Mike, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Of course. Take care.
That is ABC News technology reporter Mike Dobuski joining us this morning here on KMOX. It's 8:29, and this time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Hi, Margaret with Eamon Gantner and Capriano. We all procrastinate. We put things off, confident we'll have time later. Well, one who procrastinates in choosing will inevitably have their choices made for them by circumstance. Could be an illness or even a death. And it happened to me. I was widowed at 41. It could happen to you. If you procrastinate and fail to plan for your future, for your children, circumstances and the courts will make your plans for you without your input. Eamon Gantner and Capriano help thousands of families plan for their future now. We can be your personal attorney too, guiding you with a will, trust, powers of attorney, Medicaid, and VA. You may delay, but time does not. Eamon Gantner and Capriano, YourEstateMatters.com.
The choice of an attorney is an important decision and shouldn't be based solely on advertising.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Too many tools, too much stress, and way too many bills.
Odoo replaces it all. One connected platform for every part of your business, so you can work faster, smarter, and for less. Odoo, the only software you'll ever need. Try it free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Just ahead, the U.S.-Iran war is expanding to allies. We'll tell you more about that from Associated Press. First, let's get a check of the roads from Roger Brand. He's in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, the biggest delays are on the Illinois side right now, Megan. This traffic reports the service of I-3 broadband. If you're on westbound 5570 at Jams, approaching 255 most of the way into 111, and eastbound 5570, 111 into Black Lane is pretty slow in that work zone. Westbound 64, 25th Street to the 70 split where that ramp, the westbound 70 is closed, and then it's just backed up Route 3 onto the Poplar after that. Northbound 270, a little slow pocket approaching Big Bend up to Doherty Ferry. Eastbound 64, McKnight to 170. Is kind of slow at that point, and northbound Telegraph from Christopher up to Baumgartner is bumper to bumper. With the kids home for the summer, your house is a digital zoo of streaming and gaming. Switch to i3 Broadband and upgrade your summer. Head over to i3broadband.com/radio today or call 1-866-806-5485 to upgrade today, because life runs better on fiber, and i3 Broadband is here for you. Next update at 8:40 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, a spotty shower thunderstorm this morning. Otherwise, we'll see clouds, then sunshine later today. Breezy, hot, and humid, a high 93. Clear tonight, more comfortable, an overnight low of 66. We have cloudy skies, 84 degrees downtown at the Arch. It appears the U.S. war with Iran is starting to widen. The Iran-backed Houthi militia, which controls a significant part of Yemen, declared a maritime blockade on U.S. ally Saudi Arabia. AP correspondent John Gambrell has the latest.
Yemen's Houthi rebels are threatening to target Saudi shipping in the Red Sea. Now, this is important because Saudi Arabia, like other Gulf nations, have been affected by Iran's chokehold on the Strait of Hormuz, through which about a fifth of all the world's oil and natural gas passed in peacetime. Now, as the Iran war has been going on, Saudi Arabia has been using a pipeline to take oil to a Red Sea port and then export it from there. But Yemen's Houthi rebels, who the Saudi government and other Middle East nations have been locked in a war with all the way back since 2015, have been threatening to target Saudi ships in the Strait of Hormuz, the Gulf of Aden, and the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, which, like the Strait of Hormuz, is a key maritime waterway. Now, the Houthis don't have necessarily a large navy to do a naval blockade, but what they do have is Iranian-made drones and missiles. And during the Israel-Hamas war in the Gaza Strip, the Houthis attacked over 100 ships. There's a chance, if the Houthis carry out this threat, that they could disrupt Saudi oil shipments to Asia. That would have a big impact on global energy prices, which already are straining with the resumption of hostilities between Iran and the U.S. over the last several days.
It's now 8:34. Your money report from Bloomberg is next.
Now there's a new way to take charge of your blood sugar. Introducing New Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula from the makers of the nation's best-selling garlic supplement. New Garlic helps maintain healthy blood sugar levels with clinically supported levels of garlic, plus a custom blend of vitamins and minerals, and it's odor-free. Take charge of your blood sugar with New Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this ad for your morning commute to wake you up, which could help your driving. Science says that stimulating the brain increases alertness. So here's a pop quiz. How many months have 28 days? What gets wetter as it dries? What has keys but can't open locks? If you don't want to hear the answers, turn off this Liberty Mutual ad now. 12 months, a towel, piano. Enjoy being fully alert.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Your Money Report now. It's sponsored by Eamon Gantner and Capriano Elder Law Attorneys. Here's Bloomberg's Courtney Donahoe.
Nike would have liked a different ending to the World Cup. Spain triumphed over Argentina with both teams facing off in Adidas gear. Each of them had beaten France and England in the semifinals, which are Nike teams. Having their teams fall short means missing out on a windfall of fans splurging on merchandise. The athletic wear company has been under ongoing pressure to rebound from an extended bout of slower than normal sales growth. And data centers in the U.S. will account for about 20% of the nation's electricity consumption in 2035, according to a Bloomberg analysis. That's up from close to 6% today. In states such as Virginia and Texas, where data centers are concentrated, their share of electricity use will be even higher. Surging demand from AI data centers is already straining electric grids. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
It's Tom Ackerman. Gamma Tree Experts goes back to 1954 when Frank Gamma started the business with a pickup truck and hand tools. Today, Frank's sons, Tim and Tom Gamma, carry the business on, and they do a marvelous job. They have an incredible team that will trim trees, that will look at damage and assess it and clean it out, that will do an assortment of treatments for trees that need it all throughout the St. Louis area. We have trees of all shapes, sizes, and types, and Gamma Tree Experts knows them all. Whether it's home, business, or municipal needs, Gamma Tree Experts can help your home, business, or municipality. It is Gamma Tree Experts, the genuine, the original. Go online at gammatree.com. You can read all about their services. Give them a call, have them come over and consult you. I can't recommend them enough. They are the tree company in St. Louis. They are Gamma Tree Experts. Your trees deserve the best care.
Congress doesn't need more politicians. For nearly 30 years, Joan Von Dross dedicated her life to helping students learn, grow, and succeed. Now she's running for Congress to fight for lower healthcare costs, stronger public schools, and a more affordable future for Missouri families. Teachers solve problems. Politicians play politics.
I'm Joan Von Dross, Democrat from Missouri CD2, and I approve this message. Vote for me on August 4th.
Paid for by Von Dross for Congress.
The smartest way to do your homework is Hackman Lumber.
Thinking about building a new deck? Start with the trained professionals at Hackman Lumber, home of one of the largest inventories of decking materials and accessories in Missouri. From treated lumber and cedar to all the leading names in decking, their team will help you choose the perfect materials for your dream deck. Then finish it off with endless railing options, balusters, and LED deck lighting to bring your backyard to life. Hackman Lumber will not be undersold on in-stock decking materials, guaranteed. Do it yourself? Their team is ready to help. Also, check out their expanded paint department with custom color matching. And don't forget, follow Hackman Lumber on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok to catch weekly deal specials and project inspiration all season long. Or visit us at hackmanstl.com. Locations in St. Peters, Troy, and Pacific, Missouri.
For all station contest rules, go to KMOX.com/rules.
This is 104.1 FM KMOX. Here's what's happening. A $100,000 reward now being offered for answers about the death of a Mississippi teen, Nolan Wells, who died mysteriously during a boat outing with friends to a remote island. The FDA now saying that while a false positive was reported, lettuce from Taylor Farm still remains the focus of the Cyclospora investigation. And jury selection underway for the man accused of seriously injuring a Ferguson police officer during a protest held on the 10th anniversary of Michael Brown's killing. 8:40, let's get you the latest on the roads with Roger Brand. He's in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
We got a couple of trouble spots on North 270 now, Megan. North 270, just north of Gravois, we have an injury crash. They have the right lane blocked, so traffic's backed up at the Sappington road overpass. It goes through past that crash scene, then it opens up, and we had an incident up near Doherty Ferry. It looks like they cleared that one, but it's still backed up from just north of 44 up to about Big Bend, a little slow at Manchester. Eastbound 64 approaching McKnight through to 170s heavy, and on the Illinois side, westbound 64, 25th Street to the 70 split slow. Westbound 5570 is backed up from 255 most of the way to 111 and eastbound approaching 111 into Black Lane on 5570. You've got a roadwork slowdown as well. I'm Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Why pay full insurance when you can customize and save? Switch to Liberty Mutual and they'll customize your auto and home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Just ahead, we're going to tell you about an effort to have calmer prisons in the state of Missouri. First, the forecast. Spotty showers or thunderstorms this morning. Clouds will give way to sunshine later today. It'll be breezy, hot, and humid with a high of 93. For tonight, clear, more comfortable, an overnight low of 66. And then tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds, lower humidity, a high of 81. We have cloudy skies, 84 degrees now downtown at the Arch. 4 Missouri prisons are trying out a prison reform technique aimed at creating a calmer, safer environment. They're using methods that worked well in Scandinavian prisons. Some of the changes are physical, like softening the paint color in a wing of the prison. Another involves adjusting the way prison staff and inmates communicate. Missouri Net's Sue Danielson learned more about the concepts being used from University of Missouri social work professor Kelly Canada.
One of the main ones is a concept called dynamic security. And dynamic security is the overall concept sounds very simple, but it's not something that's used often in U.S. correctional systems. It's the idea that building rapport between staff and the residents actually creates safer environments using respectful languages, treating each other in a humane way. Both the residents and the staff kind of working together actually can create space for much safer environments and helps people progress towards their rehabilitative goals in a much more effective way.
And then you creating a safer environment. So the idea then would be safer for those who work there at correctional facilities and also safer for those who are housed there.
Exactly. Yeah, a lot of this project, people kind of focus on some of the physical transformations that happen in the wings, and I'm happy to talk through those. Really at the core, though, especially here in Missouri, a lot of people work in these facilities, and it's what we're learning more and more every day is that people who are working in correctional settings are at higher risk of having mental health problems. They're struggling to cope with the stressful environment that they work every day in. It affects their own health. It affects their families. There's, interpersonal struggles that can happen when you come from this very stressful work environment and you kind of bring those things home. And so we really try to have staff well-being at the center of this because we know that when people are hurting, they're much more likely to react impulsively in stressful situations. Sometimes that communication doesn't come off as respectful in high stress situations. And so we really try to think about the living and working conditions really need to improve collectively in order to make a real impact on those populations.
So you're 2 years into this program. Are you seeing any results yet?
Well, so our first 2 prisons, those facilities were Moberly Correctional Center. We've got one wing that we worked on there, and then the Women's Eastern Correctional Center, which is in Vandalia. We have 2 wings there. Those wings, we have the kind of construction and development period the first year of the grant. They opened at the end of our first year, so now they've been open for about a year. And we just opened the wings at South Central, which is the one maximum security facility that we're working in Licking, Missouri, and then Farmington Correctional Center in Farmington, which is the medium security. We have 2 wings in each of those. Those just opened. So kind of what we're seeing, this is many, many years away from kind of final data analysis. But what we're hearing from the people who are taking part in the project, so the staff, is that these are more peaceful wings. They're more pleasant to work on. They don't feel safety threats like they might in other wings. It's not as chaotic. And so qualitatively, those are some of the messages that we're hearing from staff. And for the residents, so we talk to people while they're incarcerated, but for people who release, we also talk to them after they've released. And so we've already had some people release from the correctional centers, and they've said things like just having a quiet, peaceful place allowed them to actually focus on their goals. They weren't so distracted by all the things happening in the wings. I mean, part of the transformation of these wings, as you can imagine, even if you've never been in a prison, these are very institutional spaces. They are echoey and loud. They're chaotic. They're there's not a lot that's like visually stimulating for people. Like they're, tones of color that are very bleak, and there's not textured furniture or things like that. And so it could just feel very overwhelming for people. They don't see themselves in these spaces. It doesn't feel very humane for people, even just with kind of like the physical kind of structure of a prison. And so having this different kind of space really allowed people to kind of practice what it's going to be like when they get out.
When the program arrives at a correctional facility, do you meet with staff first, separately than those who are in the facility?
Mm-hmm. Do you want me to walk you through kind of how we kind of start these wings?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is like kind of big picture when we first start. So like I said, we're in 4 different prisons. So we did this process at every single prison. We started with a design charrette. This was a new thing for me, but one of the members of my team is a professor in architectural studies, and she specializes in interior design. So these charrettes are 2-day interactive planning workshops. And we had a group of staff and a group of residents, and they essentially co-designed these wings with the idea of wellness for people living and working in that space in mind. And it was everything from like, what colors do you want to see on the wall? What kind of furniture is both promoting wellness and maintaining safety? Where can we put rugs? How can we space the furniture out? Because we are still in prison, but we really wanted to try to make it look as much like a home as we could. So there's plants that they designed as part of the process. They talked through any kind of caregiving that was possible. So having a fish tank or having like a house dog or something like that to really try to give it a home-like feel. So we started there. At the end of the 2-day charrette, there was a plan that we took and we kind of put into action. And so the staff at each of the facilities and a group of residents helped paint the walls, put the furniture together, get everything in place. And then my team, we did a lot of education to try to make sure that people understood, what the point of the project is.
The staff, were they concerned when you brought this to them that, they still need to maintain authority? Were they concerned that this might hamper some of their efforts?
Yeah, I mean, I think, this is a really different way of thinking about correctional practices. And so rightly so, there was a lot of questions and people wanted to learn a lot more. And so the training that we did initially at those first 2 sites was a 4-day training, really just allowing people to really sink into what we know through research from international places who have put this into practice, like Norway and other Scandinavian countries. They were very violent prisons, back, 40 years ago. And some really important changes happened, including dynamic security and really trying to help people progress towards their personal goals that they had. And they started seeing staff feeling more safe. So they saw staff turnover go down. They saw overall quality of just kind of the workplace for staff really increase with these changes. Their recidivism rate went way down. And so I think, when you start learning about dynamic security, for example, and really how it is just another tool to create a safe space, it's just done in a little bit of a different way. And we kind of look at the international literature on what exactly it means to be effective in those spaces. Those are all goals that the staff really had for themselves. They want to work in safe spaces. They want to go home, without getting injured. And I think, most people would agree when you're helping someone be a better version of themselves, that actually feels pretty great, and you're kind of helping people get to those goals.
That is Missouri Net's Sue Danielson with University of Missouri social work professor Kelly Canada.
Debbie Monterrey, Megan Lynch, Tom Ackerman. Total Information AM on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Sometimes I think, what are the best ways that I enjoy an ice cold Budweiser? At a ball game, maybe out playing golf with friends. Maybe some of you go to the lake, you're out on the boat, you crack open an ice cold Budweiser. What you're doing is you are continuing a tradition that goes back 150 years. That's when Budweiser was created, right here in St. Louis. People enjoy that ice-cold, delicious lager all over the world. And it all started right here in 1876. Also going back to 1876 is Major League Baseball, and Budweiser is the official beer sponsor of Major League Baseball. Of course, 1776 is when America was founded, and we are celebrating our birthday, 250 years this summer, and Budweiser is celebrating as well with their patriotic cans as they celebrate America's birthday. For the last 150 years, the king of beers. Crack open a Bud. This Bud's for you.
For the last 33 years, you've discovered that at Banner Construction, we pride ourselves on quality craftsmanship. We believe the single most important decision homeowners must make when considering an exterior restoration project is, who do you hire? At Banner, we provide well-engineered, meaningful, long-term solutions to transform your home into the pride of the neighborhood. Let us help you fall in love with your home all over again. Call 314-569-1050 or visit bannerconstruction.com and have a banner day.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
We're back with Total Information AM here on KMOX. I'm Megan Lynch, and I've been reading a number of recent articles about how both men and women are turning to testosterone to regain some of their vigor as they age. I wanted to talk about it from a dietary, a nutrition standpoint. And so I've brought in Michelle Wilson, registered dietitian with Brands Nutrition, to help us out on this. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning.
So when we talk about testosterone, what's its function in our body?
So testosterone helps us to be able to, like, we have like a lot of different balance of hormones. Testosterone helps with like metabolism and muscle production. And it also just, balances out with other hormones as well. So they all play together.
Okay.
And a lot of people think about testosterone being for just men, but women have levels of testosterone too. They're just different, and our hormone levels change as we age too.
So if we start supplementing testosterone as we age, and it might be different for men or for women, do we need to change the way we eat?
So the main aspect of hormone balance and the testosterone piece would be fat. So our fat intake is actually very important for hormones because that is going to be the main macronutrient that helps create the hormones and for that bioavailability piece. But we also have micronutrients that can help with the hormone production and balance as well. So magnesium and zinc are going to be the main ones that can be helpful for that too.
So is that a way maybe to boost testosterone levels naturally if you're not doing some kind of supplementation?
Yes, absolutely. So I'm a huge fan of foods first and supplements second. So if you have a good balanced diet, then it can definitely help with what your body's naturally producing. However, the endocrine system can be very complex, and sometimes we have natural hormone imbalances that we can be supportive with the food that we're intaking, but if it's so far off that we're depleted in those nutrients, or our hormone production is just not present, or not as present as we'd like it to be, then we would need to have medical intervention.
I'm curious because we've talked so many times about various nutrients and getting what we need. How do we know what we need?
That's an excellent question. So there's going to be an aspect that is intuitive. So our bodies naturally crave whenever we're deficient in certain nutrients. So we might not necessarily think, I need magnesium, but we might be craving more greens, like leafy greens or nuts or seeds. And we don't really know why. We're just like, I kind of feel like eating that right now. But if you feel like you're not naturally like in tune with cravings, or you don't have a really good appetite, then something could be like just having like a well-balanced diet to begin with, carbs, protein, fat, fiber, getting a good variety of vitamins and minerals from fruits and vegetables can be helpful, but you can get a panel done where you can get your blood tested to see how your micronutrient levels are. And so if you're deficient with those blood tests, then you're going to probably need a supplement to have more of a therapeutic dose, a really intense amount of it to bring it back up and then maintain it with the dietary intake.
Is this something that is it dangerous to try to adjust those levels on your own without having an expert help you?
So I would say that having an expert help is definitely going to be great for if it's going to be a super low amount, just because we need to monitor the therapeutic dose. But whenever we're having just like those, eating more with food, we're not going to be as high of a risk of that being too much or having a toxic level of it. But if you are trying to supplement and you're taking like magnesium or zinc or other nutrients over the counter, it's definitely helpful for your doctor or pharmacist to know those things, because we can have medication interactions with those micronutrients. So just making sure that the people who are prescribing your medications know what supplements you're taking rather than just starting to take them on your own, because there can be interactions.
Michelle, thanks for your insights.
Yeah, no problem.
That is Michelle Wilson, registered dietitian with Brands Nutrition, joining us here on KMOX.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Health Trends, sponsored by Ethos.
Could faking a laugh be the secret